Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bosson. Education is a cornerstone for strong, vibrant communities. I voted for the largest investment in education in Nebraska history. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe Nebraska is a great place to work and raise a family. My husband Reggie and I are local family business owners and understand the valuable role of education in growing our community. This is Carolyn Bosson, and I will continue to support education in the legislature. Vote Carolyn Bosson on November 5th. Paid for by Bosson for Legislature.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. My grandpa Don always made sure that our diamonds are the most exceptional you could find in the world. That's why we're introducing our exclusive Heartland Diamond Collection. If you're ready to add some sparkle to your life that you can see from across the room, the Heartland Diamond is for you. Stop in to Sartor Heyman to see for yourself. Until next time, happy shopping, guys!
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best boxers on Saturday, November 9th with Vertex at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. Fights are scheduled throughout the night, and if you haven't been before, now's the perfect time to go with Nebraska football on a bye week. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is a presentation of Nebraska High School State Football Playoffs on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. State football broadcasts are presented by Next Ag Real Estate, Members Owned Credit Union, Sunbelt Rentals, Jimmy John's, Nebraska DOT Highway Safety Office, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Teammates Mentoring, Play It Again Sports, Union Bank, Nebraska Army National Guard. Now, calling all the action, here's Nick Sainert and Jay Foreman.
Welcome into playoff football action here at Seacrest Field on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert starting things off here on round one of the high school football playoffs. Got a good one on deck as it's the number 7 seed in Class A. The Lincoln Southeast Knights going up against the number 10 seed in the Class A bracket, the Millard North Mustangs. There's plenty of things to get to throughout the next couple of hours as we bring you live football action from Seacrest Field. First, let's talk about this Capital City team, the Lincoln Southeast Knights. As I mentioned, the number 7 seed in the Class A bracket, 7-2 on the year, had a nice win last week against the Lincoln East Spartans that you heard right here on the ticket, and they kind of needed to win that one to assure themselves that they would be hosting for the playoffs. They are the only Capital City team to be hosting a spot in the high school football playoffs, and they deserve it. They've been to the playoffs every single year since 2018. That's 7 straight years. However, they've lost in the first round the last 3 years. So they've gotten here, but they haven't stuck around very long as their last championship came way back in 2011. And fun fact, that's the last time that any Capital Cities team from the city of Lincoln made and won the state championship way back in 2011. And so the city of Lincoln trying to represent Lincoln Southeast, one of 3 Lincoln teams to make the postseason, along with Lincoln East and Lincoln North Star. And so one of those 3 teams trying to fight their way back to Memorial Stadium on November 26th as the high school football season will wrap up there, and with the Class A title game on a Tuesday night, believe it or not. But like I said, Lincoln Southeast, the only team that will get to do it and have a chance to host for this week. And if they win tonight, they will travel to most likely Millard South, the number 2 seed, next Friday night. The other 2 teams, the Spartans and the Gators, have to get it done on the road here in round 1. So once again, it's the Lincoln Southeast Knights and the Millard North Mustangs. For Millard North, they got to win this one and try to stay alive without probably their best player. Husker commit Pierce Newberry hurt his knee a couple of weeks ago, has played in 7 games this year, did not play last week. And Pierce Newberry on the season, 32 catches, 556 yards, and 6 touchdown catches on the season. The future Husker out tonight. He was seen walking around on the field in crutches. We knew that one coming in, though. And so it's going to be a lot of Caden Vermas, the other Husker commit that the Mustangs have on their roster. 95 carries, 756 yards rushing, and 9 rushing touchdowns. Through the air, though, as well, Caden Vermas out of the backfield, 14 receptions for 400 receiving yards, and he scored 5 touchdowns through the passing game as well at quarterback for the Mustangs. It's going to be Zion Rush, the junior 6 foot, 190-pound quarterback, 16 touchdown passes and 7 INTs on the year. Doesn't run a whole lot, 46 times on the year for 155 yards, still 0 rushing touchdowns on the 2024 campaign. For the Southeast Knights, they got playmakers all over the field, especially at running back in the form of Cash Butenbach. Butenbach on the year, a lot of wear and tear on those legs, 146 rushes, 899 yards. There's a very good chance that if Millard North does not slow him down, he'll eclipse that 1,000-yard mark tonight. And he's found the end zone 11 times, and that's been a big help towards the quarterback, Trey Bolin. 9 touchdown passes, 6 INTs, still under 1,000 passing yards. He'll probably break that after he gets 22 passing yards later on this evening against the Mustangs. So once again, Nick Sander joining you. Jay Foreman will join me momentarily as we get ready for first round of playoff football. It's the 7 seed, the Lincoln Southeast Knights, trying to advance to the second round for the first time in 3 years. In just a couple of minutes as they take on the 10 seed, the Millard North Mustangs, the 5-time Class A state champion. The last time the Mustangs won it, though, was back in 2015. They have made it to the playoffs 2 straight years. They lost in the first round last season to Millard West by a blowout score of 49-14. So one of these teams, for the first time in the last couple of years, will make the second round. We'll find out if it's the 7 seed, the Lincoln Southeast Knights, or the 10 seed, the Millard North Mustangs, when we return on a couple of minutes here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Sea-Doo dealership. Score up to $300 off or a free 2-year warranty on 2024 Sea-Doo Sparks and $500 off or a free 2-year warranty on all other brand new 2024 Sea-Doos. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of September. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and watercraft in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own.
Always in the driver's seat, huh?
Yep. They set you up with the loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot.
Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop.
Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members-Owned Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Seacrest Field here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert coming at you from Seacrest Field, round one of the Class A state playoffs. A lot of intriguing matchups going on across the state. A couple of local teams having to drive quite the distance. A couple of teams from the Omaha metro area as well having to travel over 6 hours. We'll talk about that as the game progresses. But here, just a short drive down A Street as we are here at Seacrest Field. By the way, high school broadcast brought to you by our friends at Next Ag Appraisal and Real Estate. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Visit nextagrealestate.com to learn how their firsthand experience can help you in valuing, managing, and selling your property. Before we get going, let's take a 10-second pause for station identification here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Alrighty, so here we are back at Seacrest Field. It looks like the Millard North Mustangs coming out in their silver helmets, white jerseys, white pants, blue letters and numbers with a green trim on those letters and numbers. Southeast decked out in all black. Black helmets, black pants, black jerseys with the white letters and numbers with a gold trim outlining the word Knights across their chest. It's a beautiful night for football here on November 1st, on the first day of November. 57 degrees here at kickoff with the wind blowing out of the south at around 8 miles per hour. Shouldn't be much of a factor. However, both these teams, really good specialists on each side. So Southeast won the toss. They elected to defer, and that means Millard North will get the football first here as we get ready for the first round of the Class A state playoffs on the ticket. So Lincoln Southeast will kick towards the north end zone, going right to left from my vantage point, sitting up here on the west side of Seacrest Field as the kick is a short squibber up the middle, fielded at the 30 cleanly, and now taken up close to the 40-yard line, just shy of it at the 38-yard line. And so Millard North will send their junior quarterback, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, number 11, Zion Rush. Rush on the year, 88 of 150 through the air, 1,418 passing yards, 16 touchdown passes to just 7 INTs. He's also ran 46 times for 155 yards. The guy to watch certainly on offense, the future Husker 6-foot senior defensive back and running back, and that's Caden Vermas, wearing number 8, has 95 carries on the season. As they motion Vermas out to the left side, he'll get the pass off the feed from Rush, trying to reverse field and taken down in the backfield. It's going to be a big loss on the play. Nate Applegate was the Knight defender coming in from the perimeter and taking Vermas down with a shoe tackle. And so loss of 6 on the play. And that takes it all the way back down to the 34-yard line, rather loss of 4, And so that brings up second down and about 13 and a half yards for Millard North on the opening possession of the game. And so that play was somewhat slow developing. It wasn't necessarily the most accurate pass. Now Vermas gets a handoff left side. He gets a lot of running room up the left side and across that first down marker near midfield. He needed 13 and a half. He got 15 up to the 50-yard line, and it's a Millard North first down on Caden Vermas's 96th carry of the season. He eclipsed 770 rushing yards on that attempt. So the up-to-the-minute statistics for Vermas, 96 carries, 771 yards, and 9 rushing touchdowns on the season. Through the air, Vermas 15 catches for 395 receiving yards and 5 receiving touchdowns. Kind of a do-it-all guy, especially offensively for the Mustangs, as they'll keep it with Vermas. He kind of lined up in the Wildcat formation and just kind of powers his way forward for a yard up to the Knights' 49-yard line. It was interesting. The Knights elected not to kick it deep to either one of Millard North's return men, including Vermas back there. They kicked it on the ground, kept it relatively low. It was fielded by an up man around the 30-yard line. And so Millard North got decent field position starting their drive at the 38-yard line. And within just 3 plays, they're already on the Knights side of the 50. So second down and 9 from the 49-yard line here for Millard North. As Rush lines up in the pistol, he'll motion Vermas from his right hip to his left hip. Now Rush back to pass, looking. He'll throw one down the seam into double coverage, and it bounces in front of the defensive back, Dane O'Mell. It was intended for Desmond Danens as he was kind of floating down the seam, but I think Zion Rush will tell you he got away with that one as he kind of floated that one up there. It was into double coverage as O'Mell was kind of roaming the center of the field between the hash marks. And instead of a potential interception, Millard North will keep the football. 3rd down and 9 coming up from the 49-yard line. 10:25 to go, just underway here at Seacrest Field. Rush in the shotgun. He takes the snap. 3rd down and 9. The Knights send 4, and they get to Zion Rush. And that is number 34, Cash Butenbach, in on the sack. Rush was going to climb the pocket and take it down the middle of the field trying to get some yards, but instead Butenbach, who they rushed from the linebacker position, he was able to take him down by his ankles for a loss of 3 yards. It's officially 4th down and 12, and Millard North will have to punt this one away. With 9:58 to go, we're going to have a penalty flag. I believe this one will go on Lincoln Southeast. Rather, potentially, they might get the left side of that punt unit for a false start. They blew it dead, which indicates usually false start, and it is. So they're going to say the left side of that Millard North punt unit jumped early, moved them back another 5 yards. I think head coach for the Mustangs, Alan Burrell Jr., was saying he thought that Lincoln Southeast might have jumped a little too soon, but instead they get the call on the Mustangs. Now the Mustangs have to punt it from their own 43-yard line on 4th and 17. Southeast sends the blitz, and the punter gets it off cleanly, fielded. Here is Dane O'Mell. He runs right into 2 Millard North defenders and is taken down at his own 30-yard line. So now it is Lincoln Southeast's turn on offense as they'll send the senior quarterback, 6'3", 165 pounds, Trey Bolin. Out there, Bolin on the season, 79 of 130 through the air, 978 passing yards with 9 touchdown passes and 6 INTs. Certainly the guy to watch on offense for the Knights is going to be the running back, number 34, Cash Butenbach, 146 carries. Play action as Bolin rushes out to his left side. Pass is hauled in by Mason Mehta for a 1st down and a 12-yard gain. And so as I was saying about Butenbach, 146 carries, 899 rushing yards, and 11 scores to the senior running back's name on the year. So Mason Mehta just recorded his 21st catch of the season as he surpassed 200 yards receiving on the year. Mehta, 5 touchdowns, including a touchdown catch last week against the Spartans. Handoff on 1st down. Here is Butenbach for the first time on the day, and he gets forward for about 3 yards up to the 46-yard line of Lincoln Southeast. However, we do have an injured Knight down on the turf trying to get up. It looked like somebody off that right side of that offensive line. I believe, if my eyes don't deceive me, number 72, Pablo Barta, the senior offensive tackle off that right side, is down on the turf. Looks like they're tending to his right leg. And with that, we'll step aside. We'll pause for a couple of minutes while they tend to Pablo Barta on the field. You're listening to high school state playoff football on 93.7 The Ticket.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Escape the ordinary gym experience and unlock a new you with 3 Pillars Performance. Whether you're a high school athlete, college student, or former athlete, 3 Pillars Performance's state-of-the-art facility and certified trainers are dedicated to helping you achieve your fitness goals. Join a community that helps you get leaner, stronger, and move better than you ever have before. Visit 3 Pillars Performance online at 3pillarsperformance.com or in person at 5620 South 49th Street in Lincoln. Maximize your athletic potential with 3 Pillars Performance today.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So Pablo Barta has been helped off the field, and on second down, the Knights will throw it down the seam. Pass almost completed, but incomplete to Nate Applegate as he was hit from behind by number 7, roaming the area, Rafe Evans Jr. And so that brings up 3rd down and 7 from the Knights' 46-yard line. As Bolin in the shotgun, 2 wideouts to the far side, booting back to his right. Bolin reverse screen play to Applegate. Applegate tries to stiff arm a defender, almost got tripped up, and now gets pushed out of bounds. That was Caden Ward, number 0, not number 8, on the catch. And that will get them up towards midfield. It will be a 4th down attempt coming up, and it looks like with 4th and 2 looming, Ryan Gatula will send on the punting unit. So we saw a fake punt score a 49-yard touchdown last week by Charlie Thorne. He's back to punt here on 4th and 2. He'll take the snap, not a fake here. High punt, roaming out of bounds, and Vermas takes it out of bounds at the 22-yard line. So that is where Millard North will set up shop for their second possession of the game with 9:02 remaining here in the first quarter. Still 0-0 in the Class A opening round of the playoffs, and Millard North gets their second crack at it after their defense forced a punt by Lincoln Southeast. The Mustangs came into this game 5-4 on the season. They've won the Class A title 5 times. Last time they did was in 2015. They had a nice little run early in the 2000s. In 03 and 05, they won the title. They were runner-up in 02 and 04. And then in 2012 and 15, they won the championship as well. They lost in the first round of the playoffs last season to Millard West, as here on first down, handed off to Vermas. Vermas shoots through the A-gap, and he is able to get 5 yards or so up to the 27-yard line. That brings up 2nd down and 5 as we are under 9 minutes to play in the first quarter of action here at Seacrest Field. Nick Sainert with you. Ben Droz back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Appreciate Ben pushing all the buttons, making sure we stay connected back there in our station, located 1040 O Street, downtown Lincoln. All right, 2nd down and 5. Ball is on the 27-yard line. I formation. Rush turns, hands it off. Vermas once again bounces outside, and Pierre Allen Jr. is there to make the stop once Vermas got another 3 yards to his name, so he gets up to the 30-yard line, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 1.5 yards. They may have given him a little bit of a friendly spot there, but still, 3rd and 1 coming up. 8:04 to go in the first quarter. The guy to watch defensively, certainly for Lincoln Southeast, there's a couple of them. Dano Mill had an interception last week, against the Spartans, and Caden Van Cleve has 7.5 sacks on the year. And in addition to that, Pierre Allen Jr., 63 tackles on the campaign. Here come the Mustangs on 3rd and short. Breaking out of the tackle is number 34 for Millard North. That is Austin Reuter, the sophomore, and he will be stopped short. So needed 1.5 yards. He bounced outside to the left side, and instead of just getting upfield with that big 5'8", 170-pound bowling ball of a body, he goes east-west, and it's going to bring up 4th down and about 0.5 yard from the 32-yard line. I think Alan Burrell is going to keep his offense out on the field for 4th and inches. So ball is placed at the 31.5-yard line. They got to get to the 32. That's where the first down marker is. I wouldn't be surprised if we just see Zion Rush just kind of power his way forward for 0.5 yard. He turns, hands it off in the gap. He looks like he gets the first down. And so they may send him out for a measurement. It looks like the FAR official they ran towards the left side. It looks like the FAR official mentioned that as soon as he kind of started to walk towards that ball, it looked like he was going to mark him short, then kind of changed his direction, gave him a more favorable spot. I think Lincoln Southeastern head coach Ryan Gattulo wanted him to send out the chains and officially measure it, but they're going to give Millard North the first down. So Zion Rush got about 3/4 of a yard where he only needed half of one. So just by the hair on the chinny chin chin. 1st and 10 coming up from the 32-yard line for Millard North. 2 wideouts near side. Ball is placed at the left hash as Millard North travels towards the south end zone. And before the first down snap, we have a false start coming up on Millard North. 6:31 to play, 0-0 still between the Knights and the Mustangs. The winner of this one gets to travel somewhere. It's either to Papio South or Millard South. I should say if Papio South, the 15 seed, wins over Millard South, first of all, it'd be the shock of the century potentially. But then second of all, if Papio South, the 15 seed, wins, either one of these teams would host next Friday. If Millard South wins, well, one of these teams is making the trip up to Millard South High School. 6:14 to go. First quarter, still 0-0 here. 1st and 15 from the 27-yard line. Rush hands it off. Vermas stopped in the backfield for a loss of 2 yards back to the 26-yard line. And that will bring up now second down and even longer. Second down and 16 officially. They need to get to the 42-yard line. They marked the ball at the 26. And so a lot of Vermas, obviously, if you're just now joining us, Pierce Mooberry, the future Husker, the 6'4", 210-pound senior tight end, is out tonight with a knee injury. We knew that coming in. He was down on the field in crutches and street clothes during pregame. Second down and 16. Quick pass out right side. It's hauled in by Mason Gunther. Gunther gets across the original line of scrimmage and to the 33-yard line. Good for a gain of 7 yards or so. And that brings up a little more third and manageable. 3rd down and 9 officially. Compared to 2nd down and 17, it was now 3rd down and 9. So 3rd down and 9 coming up from the 33-yard line. Millard North breaks the huddle. 5:04 remaining in the opening quarter here, still scoreless. Empty shotgun set. 3 wideouts far side, 2 to the near side. As the shotgun snap, Rush getting blitzed off to the right side. Passes not even close. Intended for the receiver, Caden Vermas. He was covered tightly by Pierre Allen Jr. They lined up Pierre Allen, and that's where a lot of times, maybe against other opponents, Millard North might have an advantage. Getting Vermas out of the backfield, listed as a running back, out of the backfield, get him lined up on a traditional linebacker. However, Pierre Allen Jr., he is an exceptional athlete, obviously the son of former Husker Pierre Allen. Pierre Allen Jr., 63 tackles on the season, 2.5 sacks, but also covers very well as we saw him in coverage of Caden Vermas. Here's the punt. Nice boot from Millard North as it's trending towards the sideline. Now fielded on the one hop as it took a funky bounce into the field of play, into the hands of Dane O'Mell. He barrels his way forward towards the left hash mark as O'Mell gets tackled at the 31-yard line. And that is where Lincoln Southeast will send Trey Bolin and the Knights offense back out there for another offensive drive with 4:38 to go in the first quarter. Remember, folks, you can hit the road with your BFF, your best financial friend. Explore auto loan options with advice from your best financial friend at Members Own Credit Union. Learn more at membersowncu.org. 4:38 to go, first quarter. Here we go, folks. Still 0-0. The Knights hand it off to Butenbach. He barrels over a defender still on his feet across the 39-yard line to the 40-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. A tough physical run by Cash Butenbach. And it's going to be second down and 6. We saw it last week time and time again. Jay and I talked about it endlessly. What worked so well for Southeast, especially in that second half, was the ability to stay on schedule, get into second and manageable, third and even more manageable. And on this drive to start with that 4-yard carry, they do so with Cash Butenbach's help. A little bit of a trap play up the left side. Butenbach steps over a Millard North defender across the 42-yard line to the 43. And now, once again, here we go. They cut the line to gain in half, and it's 3rd down and 3 coming up with less than 4 minutes in the opening quarter remaining. So Lincoln Southeast on the year, 7-2, winners of 4 in a row, officially winners of 3 in a row. They 2 weeks ago didn't play because Omaha Benson was on their schedule. Benson had to forfeit the rest of their games, didn't have enough healthy players. And so Omaha Benson had to forfeit, which means Southeast got a bye week. I formation, and before the third down snap, we have an encroachment penalty on the Millard North Mustangs. And so with that 5 yards, that'll automatically give Lincoln Southeast a first down across the 45-yard line to the 48-yard line. And so the Knights are just 2 yards away from having their first snap in Millard North territory. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. 3:17 to play in the first quarter. The Knights trending towards the north end zone here at Seacrest Field. Turn, handoff, shotgun snap. Big hole up the middle. Cash Butenbach lunges across the 40-yard line of Millard North. He bursts his way up forward for a 12-yard gain, and it's another first down for Lincoln Southeast. It was somewhat of an inside zone play just from the left side. Butenbach takes the carry, bursts up the middle, broke one tackle, and then almost took it to the house, but was tripped up by Caden Vermas in the defensive backfield as he got to the second level and lunged his way forward for a first down for Lincoln Southeast. 1st and 10 coming up from the 39-yard line. They'll turn, toss it out right side, trying to get some blockers as Butenbach now cuts up field, and he'll have a short gain of maybe a half a yard up to the 38.5-yard line. 2.5 to play, first quarter. Nick Sainert with you on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We'll stay right here as Lincoln Southeast and the Knights will try to continue chugging away towards that end zone. So far, Butenbach has had a decent night running the ball. Southeast hasn't tried to pass it a whole lot, tried to establish that run early, and why not when you got a guy like Cash Butenbach in your backfield. 2nd down and 9. They toss it left side. Now a reverse. Dano Mel looking. He looks to pass. He'll chuck it deep. It's underthrown. The receiver coming back, and it's picked off by Caden Vermas. Vermas running on the right side across the 30-yard line, and he'll stutter step out of bounds at the 36-yard line. And Millard North gets a much-needed turnover on a pass that was underthrown by Dano Mel. The Knights try a little trickery. I think Ryan Gatula is trying to tell O'Mel just take off and run with it. As down deep past the 10-yard line was Mason Meta, but Meta had to come back for it. Vermas was kind of floating out there in no man's land defensively for the Mustangs, and the Mustangs forced the first turnover of the night with 1:53 to go in the first quarter. So Millard North will bring that offense back out onto the field. Zion Rush at quarterback, 6 foot, 190 pounds. Millard North, not a whole lot of success offensively. They'll come out with an extra offensive lineman, hand it off to the big fella, number 22, Colin Bogatz, and Bogatz pounds his way forward for 8 yards. Bogatz gives the Mustangs something that Vermas or really any other running back on their roster doesn't, listed at 6 foot, 200 pounds. A big body, plays defensive line as well in addition to running back. That was his 54th carry now for 287 rushing yards on the season. He scored 4 times as well. Bogatz, the senior running back, is in there once again on 2nd down and 2. So Zion Rush in the shotgun. Bogatz to his right side. They turn. They'll hand it off. Bogatz gets another try. Big hole up the middle. Reverses direction and still dragging Southeast defenders across the Knights' 40-yard line. There is a penalty marker back at the 50-yard line. And it looks like the white cap is telling the chains to hold on. This might be coming back as if it's on the Mustangs. However, it looks like Zion Rush, the Millard North quarterback, is pointing in the direction of the Knights, saying it's on the defense. And here's the official call from our head referee. It is going to be a face mask on the Knights, and so tack on another 5 yards there. The chains will officially move, and now Millard North is in Lincoln Southeast territory inside the opponent's 35-yard line. 60 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Millard North, with the help of a Caden Vermas interception and then 2 back-to-back handoffs to Colin Bogatz, they're in business. But before this first down snap, it looks like Alan Burrell Jr. will want to take a timeout and talk things over for the Millard North Mustangs. We'll step aside as well. 53 seconds to play, still scoreless. Millard North has 1st and 10 when we return in 30 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
On first down, Millard North will hand it off to Colin Bogatz, and he'll take it up the middle for a nice gain of 6 yards to the 29-yard line, 28-yard line officially. So second down and 4 coming up as there's 22 seconds left in the first quarter. 16 seconds on the play clock, so Millard North will have to snap it one more time as there's about a 4-second differential between play clock and game clock. 2 wideouts to the far side. They'll turn, hand it off. Bogatz once again. This is his 4th carry of the drive in 4 straight plays, and he gets near that first down marker, maybe a half a yard short or so, up to the 25-yard line. And that'll signal the end of the first quarter. So after 1 quarter of play, we're deadlocked at 0 between the number 7 seed in Class A, the Lincoln Southeast Knights, and the number 10 seed, the Millard North Mustangs. We'll step aside, come back in 60 seconds here with the start of the second quarter from Seacrest Field on 93.7 The Ticket.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Attention Nebraska sports fans, are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join us and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard, guard the good life.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander back with you. Start of the second quarter between the Knights and the Mustangs. 3rd down and 1 coming up for Millard North as they are on the southeast 24-yard line. Got to get to the 23.5. They'll turn it, toss it. Vermas, he cuts upfield, has the first down, still on his feet as he rolls over the top of a southeast defender near the 21-yard line. And another Millard North first down. And so Lincoln Southeast trying to find an answer defensively, especially on this drive. They've been struggling to stop Colin Bogatz, the 6', 200-pound running back. That time, Millard North gave it to their more athletic future Husker, Caden Vermas, who's been featured quite a bit so far tonight. And he got enough for the first down. So 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line, 11 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock here in the second quarter. Vermas takes the shotgun snap. It's a direct snap, now gets up the right side and escorted out of bounds by Butenbach defensively, but not until he gets across the 15-yard line and out of bounds at the 14. So a gain of 7 on first down brings up 2nd down and 3. Vermas on the year, 9 rushing touchdowns, 5 receiving touchdowns. Pretty good bet on who Millard North's going to try to get the ball in the hands of to get it into the end zone. 2nd down and 3 as Millard North slowing down the pace a little bit. They got 9 seconds on the play clock. They better hurry it up as they still haven't broke the huddle. Now with 5 seconds, they break the huddle. I formation, more of a split T now as they get the snap off with 1 second. Here's Bogatz up the middle and just powers his way forward for a gain of about 5 yards or so inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be first and goal from the 9. Xavier Lopez also in there at running back now for the Millard North Mustangs as Zion Rush runs over to the sideline, gets the play. Just about a minute into the second quarter of play, still 0-0 between Lincoln Southeast and Millard North. First and goal coming up from the 9-yard line. Single back formation. Vermas lined up on the left side of the line. Now Rush will turn, getting pressure off the right side by Van Cleve, and Van Cleve takes him down. Caden Van Cleve, with his 8.5 sacks now on the year, records his 44th tackle. And Caden Van Cleve takes the Mustangs out past the 10-yard line, down at the 14-yard line. And it'll now be second down and goal from the 14 after Millard North elected to pass that one. That was the first pass play called by Millard North on this drive. And now it's second down and goal from the 14-yard line. 10-10 to go in the first half. Pistol formation. Rush gets the snap, turns, hands it off. Here's Vermas trying to find a hole. Can't find anywhere to go as Van Cleve, guess who, right there to make the stop. Short gain of maybe one on the play. They're going to mark it once again at the 14-yard line. So third down and goal now from the 14. 9:47 to play in the second quarter. Still 0-0 between Lincoln Southeast and Millard North. Nick Sainert with you here from Seacrest. Ben Droz back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. 9:36 to play in the first half. So Zion Rush will break the huddle. Shotgun set with, I believe that's Vermas off to his right side. Two wideouts each way. Now they'll motion Vermas out of the backfield. Running a wheel route up the right side. They throw down the seams. Pass deflected by Butenbach. And it is incomplete as the ball falls to the turf. And after the Mustangs were chugging along just fine on the ground, on first and goal from the 9, they decide to call their first pass play of the drive. They get sacked and then could not get anything going. And so now they'll send the field goal kicking unit onto the field to attempt a 28-yard field goal or so. Alexander McCod, is on to attempt the field goal. The ball is placed at the 14-yard line. The 31-yard field goal is up, and it has plenty of leg. It hit the ambulance sitting back there off the past the end zone. But with 9:16 to go in the second quarter, we have our first points in this one. The Millard North Mustangs lead 3-0 over Lincoln Southeast. We'll step aside, come back in 30 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
In bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A 31-yard field goal is up and good by Alexander McCod. So Millard North takes a 3-0 lead with 9:16 to go in the second quarter. McCod will now kick things off. It'll be a short kick fielded by the up man. As it bounces now past him, he's fielding it at the 5-yard line, trying to reverse field. Sheds one tackler, still on his feet, and now gets taken down at the 9-yard line. That is number 11, Javion Fuller. Fuller, the 5'9 junior. That football took a funky hop at his shoe tops. It bounced past Fuller towards the end zone. He fielded it as 5, tried to reverse field, and was unable to get more than 4 yards after that as he's taken down at the 9-yard line. 9:09 to play in the second quarter. Here comes the Lincoln Southeast offense trailing 3-0. 2 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the top. Butenbach, the lone running back in the backfield, as Trey Bolin lines up under center. 4 down linemen for Millard North. They hand it off. Butenbach, big hole up the middle, across the 20, still on his feet, across the 25, and now finally taken down at the 26-yard line. a 17-yard run on first down by Cash Butenbach, and that's a first down coming up for Lincoln Southeast with under 9 minutes to play, and the Knights trailing 3-0. Lincoln Southeast, this is their 36th time appearing in the Class A playoffs, the 7th straight season they've done it, every single season since 2018. Here on first down from the 26, Butenbach the carry once again. He is able to get up close to the 30-yard line, but nothing much after that, and it'll be a gain of 4, maybe 3.5 yards for Cash Butenbach. And another Lincoln Southeast Knight injured on the play. Once again, it's Pablo Barta. So Barta will have to come out of the game. Looks like he's still dealing with that lingering right knee injury. He was down on the turf earlier in the game, is back out there now on that one. Must have re-aggravated it because he limps off the field under his own power, but walking over to the training table. 2nd down and 7 from the 29-yard line. Single back formation, one wide out each side for the Knights. Turning, Bolin fakes the handoff, rushes out to his left side, now tries to reverse direction, dumps it off Butenbach, open in the backfield, gets across the 30-yard line, stiff arms the defender, gets across the 35, and lunges to get past that first down marker. Had a couple of yards of extra room to work with as well as he gets up to the 38-yard line. Gain of 9 when he only needed 7. And that's a nice play by the senior quarterback, Trey Bolin, as he started to rush out to his left side, then looked around trying to find help. And Bolin was able to find his trusty running back, Cash Butenbach, on the right side in the flat. So 1st and 10 coming up from the 38-yard line. 7:58 to play, second quarter. 2 wideouts near side from the right hash mark. Butenbach, the carry, left side, bounces off, now trying to stutter step his way down the middle and can't get past the 41-yard line. That's where forward progress will set him. A nice gain of 3 yards on first down, brings up 2nd down and 7. I mentioned Lincoln Southeast, 36th time to the playoffs. However, they've lost the last 3 years, haven't been able to make it out of the first round. They have won 9 state championships, though. Haven't won one since 2011. They've been a runner-up in the Class A title game 3 times. But like I mentioned, the last Lincoln team to win a title at the Class A level was Lincoln Southeast back in 2011. That's the last time that a team from the Lincoln area even appeared in the championship game. As Lincoln Southeast gets this quick pass complete out to the near side to Dane O'Mell. He's taken down by a trio of Millard North defenders led by number 7 Araf Ave Evans Jr. Caden Vermas came in to clean it up, as well as Aiden Hartshorn, the senior defensive back. So now for Ryan Gatula's offense, 3rd down and 4 from the 44-yard line, 6:45 to play. 3-0 Millard North. Ball's placed at the Knights' 44-yard line. 9 seconds on the play clock. They take this snap, hand it off. Butenbach spins off a defender who had him taken down in the backfield, but now it looks like Butenbach got near that line to gain. The near official is saying to move the chains. The far side official by the actual first down marker isn't so certain. The white cap now says, all right, move those chains, as Butenbach gets barely enough. It's 1st and 10 for Lincoln Southeast. So both sides embracing the ground game here in the first half. And why not? When you got guys like Caden Vermas, who has over 800 yards on the season rushing. Colin Bogatz has over 300 yards for the Millard North Mustangs. For Lincoln Southeast, Cash Butenbach on his way to eclipsing 1,000 on the season as he gets the carry once again on first down. Nice gain up across the 50-yard line to the Mustangs' 48. Gain of 4, maybe 5 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd down and medium. Lincoln Southeast moving in the direction of the south end zone here at Seacrest Field, as they're left to right from my vantage point up here at the press box. We'll have high school football coverage coming your way every Friday night. We'll have every single state title game on our station as well, per usual, from Memorial Stadium. 5:28 to play, second quarter. Bolin takes the snap, reverse. Here's Dane O'Mell running right side, trying to shut down the edge as the Millard North defender Desmond Danens. He does so relatively well. He forced Dano Mel to cut back inside, and only a gain of 3 on a little bit of a trickery play by Ryan Gatula and Lincoln Southeast. So they've moved. They kind of set that play up to happen earlier where they tossed the play. They kind of ran the speed option out to the left side, or right side rather, earlier to Cash Butenbach. But that time, O'Mel came in motion, and nice job once again by Desmond Danens of Millard North, kind of shutting down that edge on the near side. 3rd down and short. They turn. Butenbach with the carry, trying to bulldoze his way into 3 Millard North defenders, and he will not get there. He gets up to the 42, maybe the 43-yard line, maybe just a gain of 1, and that brings up 4th down and 1 coming up for Lincoln Southeast. It looks like Ryan Gatula will keep his offense on the field, probably in 4-down territory here at the Mustangs' 43-yard line. They got to get to the 42 to keep this drive alive. Eating up a lot of that game clock, though, as Lincoln Southeast, they will receive the second half kickoff. So Lincoln Southeast comes out in shotgun set. Now they'll motion. Butenbach directly under center. He takes the snap, tries to lean his way forward for the first down. He needed to get just 1 yard to the 42-yard line. Millard North pointing the other direction, saying they stopped him. The referee eyeballs the chain from midfield. Why would you not bring out the chains and officially measurement? And they're going to say Millard North has turned the Knights over on downs. So Millard North on a 4th and 1 attempt by the Knights stuffs Cash Butenbach in the backfield, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. Millard North takes over from their own 43-yard line, 1st and 10, with the Mustangs leading 3-0. While we have a moment, from lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators, and more, Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com. On 1st down, here's Vermas shooting his way up the middle. Vermas spinning his way through Lincoln Southeast tacklers and across that 1st down marker. Gain of 12 on 1st down for Caden Vermas. And the Mustangs are on the Knights side of the 50 at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, move the sticks for Millard North. 3:49 to go, 2nd quarter. Mustangs lead 3-0. They ran the ball extensively on their last drive, got inside the Knights' 10-yard line, 1st and goal at the 9, but then a Caden Van Cleve sack by the Knights took them out of the 10-yard line, and Millard North had no answers. Here's on 1st down and 10 from the 45 of Lincoln Southeast. Vermas bouncing outside, sheds 2 tackles, now gets spun around and taken down by Cash Butenbach at the 43, gain of 2. Coming up for Millard North, 2nd down and 8. Three minutes and 11 seconds left on the game clock here in quarter number 2. Millard North in no hurry offensively. They were able to wear Lincoln Southeast down quite a bit on that last drive. Running the ball right at him with Colin Bogas. Now pressure off the left side. Millard North got away with the holding. Now they'll call the penalty flag. I think the official on the near side was getting the earful from Ryan Gatula as the left tackle on the play was trying to block Nate Applegate coming off the edge. And you kind of saw Nate Applegate get his left side of his jersey tugged. And there you have it, holding officially on the Millard North Mustangs. So that'll back him up 10 yards. So either the official got persuaded by Ryan Gatula on the sideline, or he was just having a tough time getting his yellow handkerchief out of his pocket because it was a little bit of a delayed flag. However, the holding call is officially signaled, and that'll move the Mustangs back to their own side of the 50 at their own 47-yard line. So instead of the ball being on their opponent's 43 after that 2nd down play, it's now 2nd down and even longer from their own 47. 2nd down and 18 officially. Trips out to the far side, which is the short side, as the Millard North Mustangs lined up on the right hash. Rush getting blitzed off the right side. Now finds Vermas cutting across the middle. He is across the 40-yard line, has the 1st down, and shoved out of bounds at the 33-yard line of Lincoln Southeast. They needed 18 on 2nd down, and Vermas got 21. So 33-yard line is where they spot it. 1st and 10. Rush was being pressured off his right side. He threw across his body to a Caden Vermas rushing across the field on a crossing pattern. It was a short pass, nice easy connection for Zion Rush, and Vermas did the rest. False start going to be called here in just a moment on Millard North. Another penalty on the Mustangs on this drive. It'll back them up 1st down and 15 in just a moment. 2:25 to play in the second quarter. Millard North has the football at the Knights 38-yard line rather. 1st and 15 with the Mustangs leading 3-0. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the Jimmy John's app today. They got that new pickle witch as well. Jimmy John's. Cut the pickle in half, put the stuff inside, and a little extra crunchy sandwich for you if you're a fan of pickles. 1st and 15 as they motion Vermas out to the right side. Bubble screen to Vermas. He hauls it in complete. Across the 25, Vermas still on his feet and finally taken down inside the 20 at the 15-yard line. Man, Vermas with a boost on the right side there as he caught the bubble screen on the far side, was able to shake a couple Southeast defenders. Now Vermas gets the handoff on 1st down. Vermas inside the 15, penalty flag thrown at the 13-yard line. And man, Millard North can't get out of their own way as this looks to be a hold on the Mustangs. It is. So 2:07 to play in the second quarter. The Mustangs just committed their 3rd penalty of the drive. They've been behind the original line before every single time this drive. However, they went to the same guy both times to get them out of trouble, and that's Caden Vermas wearing number 8 for Millard North. Vermas going to Nebraska to continue his football career. He'll sign, I would assume, in a couple of months, or a couple of weeks rather, on the early signing period. 1st and 18 officially from the 23-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 wideouts each side. Vermas in the backfield. They'll turn, hand it off to Caden Vermas. He bounces outside, still on his feet, makes one guy miss. Now getting pressured by Butenbach and shoved out of bounds at the original line of scrimmage. Gain of 8 by Caden Vermas. And it'll now bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 15-yard line of Lincoln Southeast. 1:51 to play in the second quarter. 2nd down and 10 for Millard North. No real hurry for Millard North as they will kick things off to start the third quarter. Millard North, the 10 seed in the Class A bracket, came in with a record of 5-4 on the season. 2 wideouts each side. They turn, quick pass down the seam, hauled in near that 1st down marker, and that's hauled in that time by Aiden Hartshorn. With first time we've called his name offensively. Hartshorn hauls in his 13th catch of the season near that 1st down marker. And it'll be a 1st down for Millard North. So 1st and goal coming up for the Mustangs from the 6-yard line. Took them a second to signal whether that was going to be 3rd down and short or 1st down and goal, and they chose the latter. So now 1st and goal from the 6. Vermas lined up in the backfield. Hartshorn at the bottom. They'll turn, hand it off. Vermas stumbles his way forward for a gain of maybe a yard, maybe a half a yard, up to the 4.5-yard line. 1:22 and counting on the game clock. 3-0 Millard North on top of Lincoln Southeast. Lincoln Southeast trying to get a goal line or a goal-to-go stand for the 2nd straight possession. Millard North has had no issues running the ball against this Knights defense. 2nd down and goal. Ball is placed at the 5-yard line. Less than a minute to go. They'll motion Vermas. Left to right. Hand it off. Colin Bogat's trying to barrel his way forward, and he does. Millard North gets on the board in the form of a touchdown finally on a 5-yard run by Colin Bogat's. Bogat's trots in for his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, and Millard North now leads 9-0. With the point after pending, and 48 seconds on the game clock. So McCod will now be on to attempt the point after. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it has plenty of leg as well. So 48 seconds remain here in quarter number 2, and Millard North has taken a 2-possession lead. They lead 10-0 over the Knights. Here in the final moments of the second quarter, we'll step aside, come back in 30 seconds to wrap things up here in quarter number 2 on the ticket.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander back with you from Seacrest Field. Jay Foreman will join me momentarily as we continue to navigate our way through the Class A first round of the playoffs between Millard North, the 10 seed, and the Knights, the 7 seed. Millard North leads 10-0 with 48 seconds to go in the second quarter. It'll be interesting to see how Ryan Gatula plays this final possession. It's a short kick as it's fielded by Butenbach at the 20-yard line. Butenbach looking around, trying to find some opening, and barrels his way across the 30-yard line down to the 31. It'll be interesting because with 43 seconds to go in the second quarter, Lincoln Southeast could attempt 2 for 1. The Knights have all 3 timeouts remaining. They will get the third quarter kickoff to start the second half as well, since they won the toss and elected to defer. So now maybe we'll see a little bit of a dump off to Butenbach, or maybe we see Trey Bolin air it out a little bit. Bolin on the year, just under 1,000 yards coming into this one. He threw his 7th interception of the season just a few minutes ago. Quick pass out into the slot. It's Dano Mel immediately thrown down at the 34-yard line, and Lincoln Southeast will signal for their first time out. While we have a moment, let's tell you about the Nebraska DOT Highway Safety Office. Click it or ticket, buckle up when you drive, sponsored by the Nebraska DOT Highway Safety Office. I want to thank all of our sponsors for allowing high school broadcasts to be possible. In no particular order, Next Ag Appraisal and Real Estate, Members-Owned Credit Union, Sunbelt Rentals, Jimmy John's, Nebraska DOT Highway Safety Office, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Teammates Mentoring, Play It Again Sports, Union Bank and Trust, the Nebraska Army National Guard, and last but certainly not least, our friends at 3 Pillars Performance. 3 Pillars Performance, our sponsor of High School Athlete of the Week as well. Check out that post every Monday on our social media pages. We also have a little bit of a promo running over the air. So out of the timeout, 2nd down and 7, 36 seconds to go. They'll motion number 5, Mariel Bradford, in from right to left. Bolin back to pass, getting pressure from his backside, chucks it downfield into the seam. It's hauled in by Applegate. Nate Applegate is able to come up with a clutch catch down the middle of the field. It was horrendously played by Arath Evans Jr. in coverage. I think he was wanting to lay out Nate Applegate, but realized that he would have been a defenseless receiver and it would have been unnecessary roughness. I think he was also expecting a potential errant throw by Trey Bolin, because it looked like he was getting ready to lay out Nate Applegate, but instead just allowed him to dive on by. A great catch by Nate Applegate, and Applegate puts the ball at the 35-yard line of Millard North. And now, if you're the Knights, you're in business with 24 seconds to play in the second quarter. The Mustangs lead 10-0. The Knights, by the way, just took their second time out of the half. Temperature at kickoff was 57 degrees, cooled down just slightly. We're sitting at 55 degrees now here at Seacrest Field. 24 seconds to play in the first quarter. Or excuse me, first half rather. I apologize. 1st and 10 coming up from the Knights. from the Mustangs' 35-yard line. A little bit of an unconventional setup here offensively, and it looks like Millard North, Alan Burrell wanted to reset as they sent all their linemen, including Trey Bolin, out to the left side. Caden Van Cleve was out there under center, and they kind of isolated a wide receiver and a defensive back on the near side of the field. A little bit of a funky setup, and Millard North needed to call a timeout and talk some things over. So Alan Burrell calls a timeout. That's their second of the half. So both sides now with just one timeout remaining here in the first half. Lincoln Southeast, they haven't won the title since 2011. 9-time champion, however, in Class A. Millard North, 5-time champion. Last time they hoisted the trophy was in 2015. 24 seconds now, a little bit of a traditional formation. 2 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the top. Butenbach, the lone running back. They'll run it hand first down. Butenbach is able to shed 2 defenders. Bounces outside. Cash Butenbach, look at you go. Inside the 15 and shoved out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Cash Butenbach. He looked his way out of a tackle and then made a juke out to the left side. Butenbach got to the boundary and pushed out of bounds inside the 10 at the 9. So first and goal will come up here in just a few moments. Lincoln Southeast elects to take their final timeout here with 14 seconds on the game clock. So Lincoln Southeast, it's very important here. You're going to throw the ball. It's got to find the end zone. 14 seconds on the game clock. You don't have a way other than spiking it or getting out of bounds to stop the game clock from running and expiring. So you need this ball to find the end zone or find the turf and not in the form of a fumble. Maddox Brock, the junior, is the Knights kicker. He's loosening up that right leg on the sideline. All right, here we go. First and goal from the 8-yard line. 2 wideouts to the near side. It's Meta and it looks like Dano Mel. Butenbach in the single back formation. They'll motion a guy from left to right. Bolin turns, rolls out to his right side. The pass is well short, and it falls to the turf. It was intended for, it looks like, number 16, Ethan York. It is Ethan York, the wide receiver, senior. But like I mentioned, that might have worked out into the favor of Lincoln Southeast because York, that pass, he would have caught that at around the 6-yard line. Not a whole lot of verticality on that pass play by Lincoln Southeast. And so now with 10 seconds left on the game clock, it's second down and goal for Lincoln Southeast. The lone receiver at the bottom is Mason Meta. Now they'll motion Dano Mel into the slot on the right side, and Alan Burrell is trying to get a timeout. They'll lob it up, and it's nowhere close. Trey Bolin tried to lob it up into the back corner of the end zone intended for Mariel Bradford, and there wasn't even a chance that Bradford gets that one. And so with 5 seconds, it looks like Ryan Gatula will elect to kick the field goal. Maddox Brock, the junior, 5'10" kicker, trots out onto the field. The ball is placed at the 8-yard line. That means a 23-yard field goal or so coming up for Maddox Brock. From the left hash, kicking into the south end zone, and Alan Burrell will hurry up and call a timeout as soon as the Knights were getting ready to snap it with 5 seconds left in the second quarter. While we have a pause in the action, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to High School Football on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Nick Sander back with you. 5 seconds to go in the second quarter. Millard North leads 10-0. Lincoln Southeast got this ball after the Millard North touchdown with 43 seconds on the play clock. But how about the catch by Nate Applegate down the seam? And he was able to get it inside the 35-yard line of Millard North, and Cash Butenbach with an explosive run And now on third down and goal with 5 seconds to play in the second quarter, Maddox Brock on to attempt the 23-yard field goal. Trey Bolin will be the holder with 5 seconds on the game clock here in the second quarter to put the Knights on the board. The snap, and it's a fake. Bolin running out to his right side. The defender looking to pass. Now is Bolin. This will be the last play of the second quarter. Bolin still scrambling. Passes deflected, and the gamble fails. Lincoln Southeast comes away with nothing to end the first half. Millard North goes into the locker room with all the momentum and a 10-0 lead here in the first round of the Class A playoffs. Lincoln Southeast trails 10-0 as they gamble to end the first half. Trey Bolin, I mentioned, was the holder. He rolled out to his right side. Nobody got open, and Millard North played it safe enough to where Bolin was unable to scramble towards the end zone, and the gamble does not pay off for Ryan Gatula and the Lincoln Southeast Knights. So at the half, Millard North, the 10 seed, leads the 7 seed Lincoln Southeast Knights 10-0 here from Seacrest Field. We'll step aside, come back in a few minutes with the halftime show on 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Sea-Doo dealership. Score up to $300 off or a free 2-year warranty on 2024 Sea-Doo Sparks and $500 off or a free 2-year warranty on all other brand new 2024 Sea-Doos. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of September. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and watercraft in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too.
My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own.
Always in the driver's seat, huh?
Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot.
Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop.
Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Empower a child today with a Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Escape the ordinary gym experience and unlock a new you with 3 Pillars Performance. Whether you're a high school athlete, college student, or former athlete, 3 Pillars Performance's state-of-the-art facility and certified trainers are dedicated to helping you achieve your fitness goals. Join a community that helps you get leaner, stronger, and move better than you ever have before. Visit 3 Pillars Performance online at 3pillarsperformance.com or in person at 5620 South 49th Street in Lincoln. Maximize your athletic potential with 3 Pillars Performance today.
Attention Nebraska sports fans. Are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join us and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard, guard the good life.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Seacrest Field, Lincoln Southeast and Millard North, first round of the Class A state playoffs. Here, Millard North at the break leads 10-0 over Lincoln Southeast. Now joined in the booth by my man, Jay Foreman. Jay, what's happening, man?
What's going on, man? I mean, sorry being a little late, but there's been a lot of action, especially here at the end of the first half.
Well, yeah. So just to recap for the fans that might be just now joining us or just want to recap, Lincoln Southeast they surrendered a Millard North touchdown with less than a minute to go in the second quarter, 43 seconds to be exact, and drove the ball down the field. To give credit, Cash Butenbach had a nice explosive run. They got the ball to Nate Applegate down up the seam. Got the ball. It was going to be a 23-yard field goal for Maddox Brock, and Ryan Gatula dials up a fake field goal. Trey Bolin rolled out to the right side with 5 seconds left. Time expired, and they were unsuccessful. So, Jay, just from a football standpoint, somewhat of a puzzling decision. I don't want to question it too much, but somewhat of a puzzling decision when you know you're going to get the ball to start the third quarter. You have a chance to convert a 23-yard field goal, a very makeable field goal.
Especially with their kicker, too.
For their kicker, Maddox Brock. You could have went into the half down 10-3, made it a one-possession game, but instead you're down 10-0, still 2 possessions.
Yeah, you know, one thing that we always talk about, Nick, is possessions, right? And when you get into the kind of when you play like-minded teams or like teams, it's, you know, possessions, situational football, football 101, and when you haven't scored any points, you never discount the importance of seeing points up on the board, especially when you get the ball coming out of halftime. There's a whole bunch of things that goes into it, Nick, where you said Cash Butenbach had an explosive run. We saw that last week, where then that seemed like at the end of the second quarter, they start getting more physical and getting the running game going. Well, now you lost all that kind of like good energy going into halftime because you ran a fake field goal and it didn't work. Now, I would tell you one thing about fakes and trick plays. They're only really good plays when they work. Yeah. And now sometimes there's a time to do it and sometimes not. You know, obviously hindsight most likely is 20/20.
Yeah.
And you haven't been so good offensively like last week, where you actually drove the ball, but you were working the rust off, right, to say, you know what, we can see our running game going. And so I think it was probably a crucial mistake. But you know what, there's still a lot of football to be left or be played. The one thing is like Millard North only having 3 points before they scored with a little bit over a minute left in the first half lets you know that it's been a defensive battle. Now, what Coach Gattulo has to do is go in at halftime, rally the troops, kind of wash that out, maybe fall on the sword, say, hey, look, that's on me.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it going. We got to think about we got to drive this ball. However, the length of the field, get some points, and then it's on the defense to continue to answer the bell. So, look, you can't go back and change that decision. It's something that might have a big impact on the game. That decision is no different than burning an unnecessary timeout at the end of the first quarter or, after a big turnover. So, these things, when you get caught up in the moment and you're in these playoff games, there is no tomorrow for some of these guys. And so that's why every decision, whether right, wrong, or indifferent, is crucial.
Yeah, once again, your score at the half, Millard North, the 10 seed, leads the 7 seed Lincoln Southeast 10-0 at the break. One big reason why Millard North has the lead, Caden Vermas, the future Husker, been very active, not only on the offensive side, he also picked off Trey Bolin in that first half. Trey Bolin's 7th interception thrown on the season. Obviously tonight, Jay, no Pierce Mooberry for Millard North. They figured out ways, though, to get Caden Vermas involved.
Yeah, I mean, look, Pierce Mooberry is obviously, coming to Nebraska as well. Great athlete, can do multiple things. But when he's gone, you have to have your other big-time players step up, and that's what Vermas has done. And he's a jack of all trades. We saw him 2 years ago out on this same very field, I think, against Southwest when they went back and forth. And obviously it was a totally different football program because now they don't run the wing T anymore. But Vermas is obviously – he's appealing to, any – Power 5 school, but in particular a Power 4 school, in particular Nebraska, homegrown talent. He's big enough that he can play receiver, slot most likely. Yeah. He can play DB. He can definitely step in and be effective in the return game and then obviously in the coverage game. And you've seen it all out here tonight on display. And you know what? In big-time games, and this is his last game, or not his last game, but it's a playoff game, you expect him to make plays. And you know what? He probably put it on himself to make more plays now that Pierce Mooberry is out. But I will tell you one thing about the Millard North football program in general. They have a young coach, and they've all gravitated to him. Yeah. He's known a lot of these kids. I think he came back there from Creighton Prep, and so he's bringing some of that Creighton Prep physicality, work hard, accountability, and they've definitely taken to it. And so in his first playoff game to be up 10-0. Yeah. That's pretty commendable, and because Coach Gattulo, he's a veteran coach, and they made a deep run last year as far as Southeast. In Southeast, it looked like they were rounded into shape. So Millard North, with their plethora of speed and quickness, guys, is could give you some problems. But now we're going to see what type of intestinal fortitude Southeast has. Yeah,
Lincoln Southeast. This is their 36th trip to the playoffs as a program in school history. They've been here every single year since 2018. That's 7 straight years. Millard North, they lost in the first round last season, 49-14 to Millard West. So trying to get into the second round for the first time in a couple of years. Haven't won a title since 2015. They're a 5-time champion, are the Mustangs.
Is that a home of Eric Crouch too, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
There you go.
I always get it confused because Eric's son, Carson, went to Elkhorn South.
Yes, I know. So, and it is.
So, and there's so many up there. Yeah. Anyway, all right, here we are, 10-0 at the break. Couple minutes till we get rolling here in quarter number 3. We'll step aside, come back in a few minutes with the start of the third quarter with the Knights trailing 10-0 to Millard North. You're listening to high school football coverage. Nick Sainert, Jay Foreman, Ben, back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios here on 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Sea-Doo dealership. Score up to $300 off or a free 2-year warranty on 2024 Sea-Doo Sparks and $500 off or a free 2-year warranty on all other brand new 2024 Sea-Doos. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of September. On or off-road, Elway Powersports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and watercraft in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too.
My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own.
Always in the driver's seat, huh?
Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot.
Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop.
Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Early break. Dick Libby is alive. He was the head coach. He would back me on this. One time he came to social studies class, pulled me out and said, I want you to consider going out for football. And I didn't. I pretty much dismissed it right away. No, I can't. I'm not going to do that.
Just because of your dominance in baseball, didn't want to risk the injuries of the potential scholarship. That was it.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
The spitting incident.
Oh, the spitting incident.
How bad was that? And do he deserve to miss more games?
I think it's despicable to spit on another human
Lucky
being.
this guy had a shield on his face. What happened? The guy from Oregon, the receiver.
Yeah, receiver.
Spit in the guy's face from Ohio State. Why did he do that?
Man, you don't spit on a guy.
Back and forth.
You don't spit on a guy. I would never do that again. I said again.
I was going to ask you about that from one spitter to another spitter.
No, come on, guys. Listen, guys,
was years ago.
27 years ago.
Yeah.
Guys, don't hold that against me.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Seacrest Field. Nick Sainert, Jay Foreman alongside. Ben Droz back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. Just a reminder, Nebraska pregame coverage, our official A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show will commence at 12:30 tomorrow. We'll have coverage leading up the entire morning. You'll get to hear Todd Euler on the air on his own show for the first time. He always joins the captain, though, on Wednesdays, but he'll be on his own show tomorrow morning. DP will have you some coverage as well, and then we'll officially start the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at 12 o'clock, 2.5 hours before kickoff of Nebraska and UCLA. But first, we got to figure out who's advancing to play the winner of Millard South and Papio South. At the half, it was 21-12. Millard South was up at home, so a little bit of a close game between the 2-seed Patriots and the 15-seed Papillion La Vista South squad, the Titans, up there at Papio South. So to start the second half, Lincoln Southeast will receive. They'll trot towards their the north end zone here. It's cooled off a little bit. The wind hasn't picked up at all, just a chillier fall night here at Seacrest Field. Millard North kicking. They'll tee it up at the 40-yard line, and we're ready to go as Alexander McCod will take his steps and get that right leg warming up.
Nick, this is look, there's a lot of football left, and so there's no reason to panic. There's no reason to play, like I say, play fast but not in a hurry. And so Southeast got to bottle up what they did the last drive there to get it going, and they got a little bit of favor here.
Yeah,
the pooch kick. If you cut it up here, the great job there by number 26. We saw him last week, Christian Zuniga, and I still want to know if that's his kinfolk. Look.
One of them are playing today. The other one's not.
The other one, maybe.
Oh, the other one is. Excuse me, Lincoln East.
Yeah, and they have to be related. But anyways, Millard North, and we've seen this a little bit more in high school football, the pooch kick, and what it is, you're trying to kick it to somebody that's not used to fielding it. But Zuniga did a really good job of getting it all the way up there to the 36-yard line. So if I'm Southeast, I'm like, man, you just gave me a early Christmas present. Let's see if they can cash in on it.
Something to certainly watch here is Pablo Barta, the right tackle, I believe, for Lincoln Southeast. He's been down on the field twice with a right knee stinger. Is now Cash Butenbach bursts up the middle, and he is across the 30-yard line, gets taken down from behind. Cash Butenbach says, I am here. Don't forget about me. And if my math is correct, that surpasses 1,000 yards on the season for the senior running back.
Really good job there by that offensive line. I mean, Cash Butenbach he got to the third level before Millard North could, really make an adjustment. And looks like Southeast is trying to impose their will like they did last week against Lincoln East.
Give it right back to Cash Butenbach. Once again, he bounces out left side. Short gain on this one. That ball was initially marked at the 18-yard line.
And, Nick, when you look at the Southeast, the offensive line, they're a good-looking young unit there. And obviously Cash Butenbach is an excellent running back. And then obviously they have Mason out there at wide receiver. So they have plenty of options to be both methodical and explosive. And it looks like they're trying to wear down this Millard North young and undersized defensive line.
2nd down and 8 coming up. Bolin turns, hands it off. Butenbach for the third consecutive play. Lowers his shoulder, still driving defenders inside the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal, just 3 plays into the third quarter as Butenbach gets him to the 6-yard line.
That run right there, it was a little bit of a delayed off the tackle power G scheme right there. But the one thing that was really, really impressive was Cash Butenbach, both hands on the football. But usually you see offensive linemen come back and do like the tush push, Reggie Bush at Notre Dame. It was him carrying 3 Millard North defenders.
So now Southeast going to line up with 3 backs. It'll be Caden Van Cleve, then Pierre Allen, and then all the way to Cash Butenbach. Butenbach on the 4th straight carry, drives his shoulder down to the 3-yard line, cuts the distance to the goal line in half. It's going to be 2nd down and goal from the 3. 10.5 to play in the third.
Big power eye there, and then they got Van Cleve, who had an excellent game against East, and then I had Pierre Allen Jr. in there as kind of like the secondary fullback. And so right now, look a little bit over a minute and a half off the clock, and it's been run. And I think Southeast is trying to really make a point to punch this in by running the ball against Millard North.
Same formation, same exact play, and now Butenbach, I think he stumbled over number 7, Araf Evans Jr. there as Evans Jr. holds up his right arm saying, I stopped him. 3rd down and goal coming up. Now, we know that at this situation, a lot of times, Lincoln Southeast likes to get it into the hands of Pierre Allen. He's has 19 carries and 155 yards rushing on the year. We talk about him so much as a defender, also plays his part offensively, but they sub him out here on 3rd and goal.
Southeast has the flexibility to spread the formation out and either run it with Cash Butenbach, or you throw it up outside here to Mason Meta out here. Or you could do it to Applegate. You have a lot of options to try to really stretch this Millard North defense out. And so what you saw in the last play by number 7, Evans, which was a really good play by the defender from Millard North Mustangs, was a run blitz. Essentially, you're just selling out, trying to stop the running attack. So if you make the play, which you did, you stop them for no gain or actually potentially a yard or a yard loss or a tackle for loss, excuse me. Now it sets up to you could possibly hold Southeast again to potential field goal. So right now, if I'm Coach Gatula, I'm thinking like, look, I got, we've got plenty of time. I don't think you need to go for it. If you don't, get it, you're 3rd and goal. You're at the 4-yard line. You want to find a way to think about the weakness of this Millard North defense that you scouted for over a week, right? You got to find the area you want to attack. Or you want to think you run your best play that you think works, right? Which has been the lead ISO. Or, Nick, you do the Nick Saban. Don't think plays, think players. Right here, you got Mason Made out here, 1-on-1. You got Applegate up top, and you like your options there. We're going to see what they're going to do.
The motion Bradford after the Lincoln Southeast timeout. 3rd and goal. Bolin running out to his right side. Still looking. He's going to tuck it and run up the right side. Tries to reach for the pylon. Not close. He gets out of bounds at the 2-yard line. A little more decisiveness probably would have been nice out of the senior
right there. You ran a little bit of a jet sweep motion, fake the jet sweep, and then once you get out on the edge and you don't see anybody clear, open very quickly, you got to tuck it and run. I would have liked to see Trey Bolin be more assertive, more decisive, use the speed, dive for the pylon. I think he could have maybe made it or put the airlock brakes on, Nick, let him fly right by like Top Gun, and then he could have got into the end zone.
So Maddox Brock will be on to attempt a very short field goal, just a 17-yard field goal attempt here from the right leg of Maddox Brock. The kick is up. It was almost blocked right through the middle, but it is through the uprights and good. So 9:21 to go in the 3rd quarter. Lincoln Southeast gets points for the first time tonight. They now trail 10-3 to Millard North. They took the opening drive of the second half all the way down, just couldn't find pay dirt, and a Maddox Brock field goal makes it a 1-possession deficit for Lincoln Southeast. Now it's time we look at Millard North when we come back in 30 seconds right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Some updates from around the state, some good games going on in Class B action that involves some relatively local teams. Norris and Waverly are tied at 10 apiece at the half. And then how about this one? As we have a penalty flag on the play on the kickoff, we'll get that call in a moment. How about this one, Jay? 15 seed, 4-5 overall, Pius X, tied with number 2 seed and undefeated Seward at the half, 14 all.
Hey, those Thunderbolts. Hey, you got to watch out for those sneaky Thunderbolts.
There you go. Obviously, this one 10-3. Yeah. We knew Millard South, the 2 seed, leading the 15 seed in Class A action. Yeah. Papio South 21-12 at the break. Amarion Jackson had a nice 50-yard touchdown catch from Jet Tamala.
I think obviously West Side and Millard South are obviously kind of step ahead. And then I think in Class B it's probably Benetton and Scott, right?
Yeah.
But besides that, there's a ton of parity. So even though you have 4 and 5, Pius X doesn't mean that they can't go beat Seward. And styles make fights. Both coaches know each other. You're not going to fool anybody. So if you don't come to play, you could get upset at home.
Elkhorn South leads Creighton Prep 7-0 after 1 quarter of play. So after a penalty on Lincoln Southeast on the kickoff, they'll re-kick it. Now pushing it up the sideline. Another penalty marker on the play. This one's probably coming back as some extracurriculars between a player from each side, but penalty marker thrown at around the 34-yard line. So if this is a hold, it's going to come back 10 yards to the 24, which will set Millard North up. No better advantage spot than where they would have been before the Lincoln Southeast penalty. So move that back 10 yards.
Yeah, Nick, Desmond Dehana was the returner there, number 3 for Millard North. Had a decent return on a little bit of a short kick, but he made maybe the game-changing play on that Cash Butenbach long run. He came out from a corner, hawked him down so he didn't score. That tackle led them to holding that Southeast team to a field goal.
How about this score, Jay? At the break up at Bellevue West, Lincoln North Star trails by 1 at the half, 7-6 to Bellevue West.
But we saw Lincoln North Star's defense, right? Yeah. We knew they were tough. We knew they were well coached. They got athletes, and they definitely aren't scared to go up there to Bell West and have an upset.
All right, so Zion Rush, heel turn, handed off Caden Vermas on the first play of the third quarter offensively for Millard North. Vermas still on his feet, and then a team of Lincoln Southeast defenders led by Caden Van Cleve and Pierre Allen Jr. Able to stop Vermas for a loss of 2.
I think when you have Van Cleve right there as a kind of a 5 technique, he wrecks havoc. A little bit undersized, but he is really good technically sound. Then you got Xavion Campbell, then Pierre Allen Jr., then obviously with Applegate. you got some guys with size and speed along with Cash Butenbach out there that can really, really hawk some guys down. Let's not forget Dane O'Mell. He was the X factor against East. And when you look at Lincoln Southeast defensively, they're a good-looking team. And then you got Mari Bradford out there at corner. And so you got a lot of speed and agility and size to run down a pretty impressive player there from Millard North.
So 2nd down and 12. Motion Vermas out to the left side, and we have a penalty marker on the play as the play is blown dead. This was a trend in the first half as Millard North, on actually the drive that they scored the touchdown, all 3 set of downs. So all 3 of those, they had a penalty every single time. And so they were always working from behind the chains, but Caden Vermas got them out of it. You would expect Lincoln Southeast, an adjustment at half, figure out a way to maybe at least limit Vermas. And Millard North won't be able to continue to get away with 2nd down and 17, which is what they're faced with here.
Right. It's almost like you want to run a box and one, the basketball analogy on Vermas, because their whole offense starts and stops with him, and they're going to overfeed him tonight. And you see there right there, the adjustment is this. They look like they're playing a little bit. I mean, obviously I wasn't here in the first half, but it looked like they're playing a little bit more zone versus what they did against East. So they can really, really focus on Caden Vermas. And so when you have a team with a new coach, and we saw this last year with Southwest, you're going to until you get your discipline and learning how things work, and you got a totally new offense now. But you got to think these kids grew up running that wing T from Millard North. You're going to have some pre-snap penalties and alignment issues.
So 3rd down and 12 after the Vermas run. Chucks in it downfield, intended for the receiver, and it is way over his head. Mason Gunter, the intended wideout in coverage for the Lincoln Southeast Knights, was number 11, Javion Fuller, the junior defensive back, and that is going to force a Millard North punt here in the 7:40 mark of the 3rd quarter.
You know, Nick, this might be a game where Lincoln Southeast is just going to have to slowly but surely plug away at this, right? It's not going to come back quickly. And so patience has got to be a big part of your mindset, how you both play as a player. You got to be where your cleats are. But then also as a coach, you got to be very patient because now you have control of this game. You just got to be very, very patient, take what you can get and make the smart plays over and over and over.
Now they'll field the punt after it kind of sat at the 26-yard line. Penalty marker on the play. I think it may go on if it doesn't go on a face mask, I think it might go on the Millard North sideline. The coach was out by the.
He almost tripped the ref. He almost did the Mike Tomlin.
Not close to the numbers necessarily, but close to the hash marks on the sideline as he was trying to say that Mario Bradford touched that punt. But we're waiting for the official call. And for the moment, Lincoln Southeast will have the ball just shy of the 30-yard line.
Nick, the head coach almost had a Ryan Day right there. And I'm glad he had that thing on his hip because, I guess being upset or anger, the headset went flying. But he had a retractable like a dog leash. It didn't hit the turf, so he didn't get the 15-yard penalty. We'll see what it is. It looks like it's going against Southeast.
It may go against Southeast, so they're going to call block in the back officially.
Wow.
So it is going to be a block in the back on the Knights. So Lincoln Southeast will now take over inside their own 15-yard line. I believe it'll be around the 13 officially, and that is where Lincoln Southeast will set up shop. Now remember, Cash Butenbach had the big run on the first play from scrimmage in the start of the 3rd quarter. It was a heavy dose of Butenbach, the senior tailback, in that first drive. Expect more of the same here, and why not when he's treading it so well?
Well, Nick, here's what I want to ask you. You know they're going to focus on trying to stop the run. Now, you always kind of feel if you're Southeast, you can come back to the run. But you got a really good-looking tight end there in Caden Ward, right? You can bring Dane O'Mell in there. You can bring in Mari Bruford. You have Pierre Allen the second. So as long as you can control the line of scrimmage, you can open up the playbook a little bit, especially if you get a first down here and get a little bit more breathing room.
I formation, they turn, run left side. Here's Butenbach. Butenbach reverses direction. Has one man to beat across the 25, across the 35. Stiff arms his way out of bounds, all the way up at the 44-yard line of Lincoln Southeast. And it's another big run on the first play from scrimmage on this drive by Cash Butenbach.
You know, Nick, needless to say, they have a little bit more breathing room. And you know, one thing that people think that this new age of football is so different. If you have a really efficient and dominating run game, you can be explosive still by running the ball. And Southeast is showing it. Look, there's a little bit over 4 minutes gone off in the second half. They have control of the ball. They went 3 and out real quick, and they're almost approaching the 50. They're looking to tie this game up.
1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Single back formation. Bolin back to pass. He'll throw it. It's a miscommunication I think he thought that the intended receiver there, Nate Applegate, was going to be able to be open because he kind of committed to a slant. Oh, no, excuse me. That was Mason Meta. He thought Meta might have gone outside towards the boundary. He cut inside instead, and the pass sailed over the Millard North sideline. So 2nd down and 10 from the 44.
Yeah, I don't mind that play call. I think it's just a little bit of a miscommunication there, as far as the quarterback and receiver. And so it's not something that, deter you from coming back to it again, because I think athletically you have advantage out here on the edges.
7:07 to go, 2nd down and 10. Play action, rolling to the left, now dumping it off. Here's Pierre Allen Jr. on the catch as he gets taken down by 2 Millard North defenders across the 50-yard line at the Millard North 48, and that makes it 3rd and very manageable coming up for the Lincoln Southeast offense.
Right. Well, I mean, just right on time. You as a Millard North defender or a defensive coach or coordinator, you're expecting to go back to Cash Butenbach to get back on schedule. Well, Coach Gatula, obviously being the little sneaky little devil he is with the fake field goals and all that, came with a little waggle, half bootleg, got out to one of his best playmaker in Pierre Allen Jr. So now you're right where you want to be. People call it 3rd and manageable. I call it 3rd and realistic.
I formation here on 3rd down and 2 from the 48. They'll toss it left side. Here's Butenbach. He'll have the 1st down and more across the 40-yard line and taken out of bounds at the 38-yard line. And now Butenbach is exchanging some words with Rafe Evans Jr., and it looks like they've separated the parties. It'll be 1st down, though, nonetheless.
Rafe Evans Jr. is feeling it, though. Look at him. See, you're selling wolf tickets. Now the tickets got cash. Now you got tap out. Now your shoulders got to look. See there, the tap
out on the helmet. Jay,
look, go down. He in the standing 8 count. Right,
he doesn't want to go down.
There he does.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 38.
You got to knock on the window.
1st and 10 from the 38. They'll hand it off Butenbach. Butenbach is able to somehow shake a couple of would-be tacklers until the big fella Colin Bogatz is there to take him down from behind.
There you go. Arif Evans has a stand 8 count, heading to the sideline. What happened? He had a delayed stinger right there, Nick. Sometimes you come up there and you try to bite off a little bit more than you can chew, and it was an unnecessary hit. But nevertheless, the defense of Millard North stood tall right there on that delayed draw or handoff to Cash Butenbach. So now, ultimately, Gatula's got to decide if it's 4-down territory or not. Or do you want to kind of see if you can get played maybe close to the 35 and decide? You need a big play here.
2nd down and 9. Quick pass out far side. It's a little high, but hauled in by O'Mel. Now he shed one tackle, but now
a horse collar.
I think he broke one tackle, got only 2 yards up there on the far side of the field, and so it's going to bring up 3rd down and 7 from the 35. They need to get to the 28-yard line to keep this drive alive.
Yeah, Nick, when you see that, it was a good play call there. A little bit of just a pro motion right there. You wanted to get it to O'Mel right there, but just a little bit off, right? You got to lead him almost like a swing pass, right? It's not a screen pass for you Nebraska fan. It's a swing pass. You want to get him out in space, and it was a little bit behind him. Good catch there by O'Mel, but it gave Caden Vermoss enough time to come out of his safety position and make that tackle.
3rd and 7 from the 35-yard line of Millard North. Bolin back to pass on 3rd down. Dumps it off to Butenbach, and he drops it. Butenbach had an opportunity, had some open turf, but it's dropped, and now it's 4th down and 7 from the 35-yard line. Lincoln Southeast hasn't been able to throw the ball effectively outside of the long pass in the first half to Nate Applegate. We'll see if they're deciding if they want to go for it here or if they want to punt this one away and play the field possession.
Well, Nick, here's what I'm saying. If you what I said is if you thought that it was 4-down territory, you almost like a run there.
But to Ryan Gatula's defense,
he was wide open.
Probably should have caught that ball.
Right, but what I would say, when you're at 3rd and 7, you like to go 4th and 4 or less. And you probably think you can get 3 or 4 yards on a basic run. But nevertheless, you got to catch that if you're Cash Butenbach in. But ultimately, Ryan Gatula is asking for the clock is still running. This is not home field advantage. But he's trying to huddle his offense up right here to settle them down, get the best play call that's going to get you 7 or more yards. And, for him, if you have enough confidence in Trey Bolin, if you like the matchup, you have – look, Caden Ward, matchup problem. Dane O'Mel, matchup problem. Mason Meta, matchup problem. Cash Butenbach coming out of backfield, matchup problem. All those give you options on this 4th and 7. It's not the make or break call of the game, but I think if Southeast gets it, they'll definitely be more than in control of this game, looking to tie it up with a touchdown.
Well, something to certainly note, this feels like a game that's going to come down to the wire or pretty close to it. Lincoln Southeast has burned 2 of their 3 timeouts here in the second half. 4:42 to go in the third quarter. Lincoln Southeast will have to navigate the final 16 minutes and 42 seconds of game time with just 1 timeout. They currently trail by 7, 10-3 to Millard North. It's going to be 4th down and 7 from the 35-yard line. Shotgun set. Booting back to the left side of Trey Bolin. Bolin back to pass on 4th down. Pressure up the middle. It's hauled in by Applegate, and Applegate lunges across the 25-yard line down at the 23, and it has plenty of room for a first down, 1st and 10 for Lincoln Southeast.
Millard North tipped their hat right off the beginning, and that was a mistake on them. They essentially rolled Caden Vermas over on top of Mason Maida. And I was yelling, or not yelling, but I was saying, look, Nate Applegate going up top. But instead of taking him up top, they kind of ran a little bit of a deeper slant. He was open for 2 times, or like pretty much 2 different times. Good job of getting it into the window there by Trey Bolin. Great catch by Nate.
1st and 10, toss out left side. Here is Butenbach. Butenbach tries to cut up the hole, is able to stiff arm 2 defenders, and taken down inside the 10 at the 9. As soon as you think you've brought him down, similar to what we've seen from Vermas for Millard North, as soon as you think he's going to go down to the turf, he gets new life, a burst of energy, and he's able to take it for 5 more yards.
They brought in Van Cleve, and he did a really good job as a fullback, obviously, but that offensive line is doing a really good job of staying on their blocks. And then Van Cleve is able to come and reset the edge. And excellent patience there by Cash Butenbach, right? He has really, really good balance, really, really good vision, and then he was patient enough to hit the sideline.
1st and goal from the 9. Butenbach with another chance as he gets shoved down.
Was that even a tap?
He gets pushed down by number 75 for Millard North. And when I say pushed, I mean it was full extension by Henry Rayberg, the 6'3", 250-pound senior defensive lineman. And it was like Cash Butenbach got hit by a brick wall from his right side.
Yeah, I mean, it was Henry had him dead in the rights and just pushed him down right there. But ultimately, it was a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7. Now it's going to be decision time. If you don't get it in the first 2 or next 2 downs, are you going for it?
2nd and goal. Here's Butenbach, bounces out left side, and there's going to be a holding call on the perimeter. I think that's a good call. Van Cleve was holding the jersey of Rocky Chavez, and Chavez kind of may have sold it. However, Van Cleve had it underneath each shoulder pad.
Yeah, he did, but he had his hands locked in, and he went for the pancake block, and then Chavez sold it like he was trying to get off. That's a subjective 50-50 call. It's at the point of attack. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give I'll be a little bit empathetic to the officials, but ultimately that was a dominating block. And by Van Cleve trying to finish the block. So I can see why he called it. I wouldn't have called it, but I would have liked to see Chavez to really actually try to get off the block.
2nd down and goal now after the penalty from the 14-yard line. 2 wideouts to the far side. Mason Meta by himself on the bottom. It's a high snap, fumbled, and Bolin just has to dive on it way back at the 27-yard line. And now it's going to be 3rd down and goal from the 27 as matters have been made worse for the Lincoln Southeast offense.
Right, because right here you got to be thinking 2 things. If you believe in your kicker, you got to get into within range he can make it, right? Now you got to get your be play call to be able to kick it on 4th down. If you don't and you want to be aggressive, there's 2 ways to go about this, Nick. Obviously, you're trying to get 2 plays for 30 yards or 28 yards to get a touchdown. But more importantly, you want to throw it up to one of your superior athletes, Mason Maida, out here one-on-one to see if he can draw a pass interference. Doesn't matter the yardage because it's not the NFL.
Bolin back to pass is able to not get away. As Bolin, I think they're trying to say that he was taken down by the face mask.
It was Henry.
It was Henry Rayberg once again.
Big bad Henry Rayberg clothesline. There's a celebration there. It wasn't a face mask, but it was up towards the neck area.
It looked far more egregious than it was.
It did, but it's also a penalty when you hit up towards the face mask, especially of a quarterback. That might have been a missed call.
So now here's an interesting decision.
Would that have been a first down? Personal foul?
Yeah, automatic
first down. That's a huge call.
Here's an interesting decision. For 4th and goal from the 35-yard line, Lincoln Southeast is going to go for it. They send Bradford in motion from top to bottom. Bolin back to pass, getting pressured, rolls out to his right side, has some room. He'll throw it down the field. It's hauled in by Applegate inside the 10. Lincoln Southeast is cheering for it, but it's 4th and goal. I don't think they realize, and it's a turnover on downs. Millard North gets the ball. Essentially works like a punt. The ball is placed at the 8-yard line, and so not great starting field position for Millard North.
Yeah, I mean, it works like a punt, but I think they thought it was 3rd down. Correct?
I think the fans thought it was 3rd down. I don't think Lincoln Southeast thought it was a third down. I think it was everybody in the building.
There's no guarantee you're going to get a 27-yard pass on 3rd and 35 or 4th and 35.
I'm not sure what to tell you, Jay. It works like a punt, though.
Yeah, it worked out for you.
Would you really want to punt from the 35? From the opponent's 35?
With their punter, yes.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And maybe they get scared into something of running into the punter or something, and we get a first down. Well, more importantly is here, Nick, just say you didn't get that pass.
Oh, then
they have the ball
takes over 35.
at the 35-yard line.
Absolutely.
So they thought it was 3rd down.
Potentially. No, I'm not convinced. I would more so say Bolin just tried to make a play, found an open receiver, and it worked.
Nick, it's 4th and 35.
I understand.
You throw to the end zone, correct?
You should.
Are you okay? When you go for it on 4th down, are you trying to get the first down or just get yards?
Well, hold on. Here's the thing, though. We also haven't seen Bolin be able to make a 35-yard pass through the air.
True.
Because he attempted that earlier in the game, got picked off because it was underthrown. 1:33 to go in the 3rd quarter. Millard North takes over on downs from their own 8-yard line. 1st and 10 from their own 8.
You still my boy, though, man.
Hey, whether or not they knew it was 3rd or 4th doesn't change our relationship. They'll hand it off on 1st down to Bogats. Bogats still bringing defenders along with him for the ride up near the 20-yard line. It's going to be a 1st down on an 11-yard gain.
Yeah, they're bringing – obviously, Caden Vermont is taking a little bit of a break, bringing the big physical eye back and just trying to get out of their end zone or from the 8-yard line. Got the 1st down. And so let's see if Millard North can, flip the tide here and try to be more physical on their end with the running attack.
Handoff once again, Colin Bogats, as he is taken down by a couple of Southeast defenders just 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 8 coming up.
Good job there by Van Cleve and Xavier Campbell there to stop him for maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain. And so now you got to look, if I'm Southeast, I'm trying to get the ball back here and get us plus territory. That means that as obviously on our side of the 50 or close to the 50 to give us a chance to try to tie this game up. And so sooner or later, Southeast has got to, really, I wouldn't say get aggressive, but cash in on the multiple opportunities they've had to tie this game up, let alone if they tied the game up, get the lead.
2nd down and 8. Hands off. Once again, Colin Bogats able to make 2 guys miss with a nice juke. Now bounces outside, still on his feet. Spin move across the 35 and down at the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 15 on 2nd down and 8. And it's 1st and 10 coming up from the 35 for Millard North.
Yeah, that was a good run there by big man number 22. And he runs a little odd. I think he's a defensive lineman, or defensive end on defense. He runs, he kind of fakes, he spins, he just throws his body around. And I think the way he runs certain plays is really, caught the Southeast defense off guard. And they haven't tackled as well as they did last week against Lincoln East. And so you got Coach Ben Butenbach and the defensive coaches from Southeast starting to trying to calm them down a little bit. Listen, we got a quarter left. It's a long time. Don't watch the clock. We got to take one play at a time. You can't worry about the scoreboard until we start giving our offense more chances with the ball. And we got 12 minutes, right? It's 1st down. We want to try to get a 3 and out, get the ball back to our offense, and hopefully they're able to get 7 points.
Let's take a break. 30-second timeout as we start the 4th quarter. It's 10-3, Millard North on top. You know what? Let's keep it here. We'll keep it here. They're about ready to break the huddles. And so we'll keep it here for the start of the 4th quarter. Millard North will have the ball at their own 35-yard line to start. So just to set the stage, once again, Lincoln Southeast was driving, had dominated that 3rd quarter, especially the first 10 minutes of that 3rd quarter. With the help of the ground game by Cash Butenbach, they converted on a big 4th down and 7 with a completion to Nate Applegate. But then once they got into the goal-to-go situation, a holding penalty, then a high fumble on a snap, and then Millard North got the turnover on downs. Here is Caden Vermas, lower in the shoulder across the 40. The initial tackler, Nate Applegate, got ran over, rather Pierre Allen Jr., got ran over and was slow to get up. Caden Vermas takes it for 7 yards up to the 42, maybe the 43-yard line at that.
Yeah, they did a really good job of getting Caden Vermas a little bit of a break, and so now he's ready to try to put the nail in the coffin, try to be the finisher. And you see it now. It's a offensive philosophy now where Millard North is trying to do what Southeast has done and really did a good job of last week against Lincoln East is oppose their will. They get brought in their big back, trying to come down, eat up clock. You see him spinning, juking, jiving. Now, I will tell you this. He doesn't get a lot of carries. Now, look, and it's pretty sweet right now, right? It's the big guy, and he's got athletic ability. He's got the fanny pack on and all that. Well, the ball security could be an issue. So if I'm Coach Budenbach, if I'm the defensive guys at Lincoln Southeast, I'm thinking gang tackle, punch the ball out because they are close enough to the 50. You get the ball back, and you can try to go up top.
Yeah, Colin Bogats came into the game 53 carries on the campaign. All right, first and 10 after Bogats got the first down. It's at the 45-yard line. It'll be single back formation, a little bit of a tight end, close bunch set. Now they'll motion a man from bottom to top, a little bit of an end around handoff. Here is number 27, Xavier Lopez. A lot of room. Penalty flag on the play, as Jay mentioned. But for the moment, the ball will be at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, it was a good play there, and it was actually number one from Lincoln Southeast, lost his lever. Dane O'Mell dipped in there a little bit, and the edge became very soft. Now, obviously, we got to look at the same principles tomorrow with the Huskers against UCLA. But luckily enough, Southeast got bailed out. Not only does the play come back, it's holding, so it pushes this Millard North offense back. It maybe forces them to pass, which they haven't shown the ability to do in the second half.
2 flags were thrown on the play, and they're both going to go against Millard North. And so one of them accepted, the other one declined, and it looks like they're going to take the one that's thrown farther back at the 43-yard line rather. So move the football back all the way to around the 33-yard line or so, and it's going to be first down and a mile as it'll be, see if I can do quick math here, 22, first and 22, if my math doesn't deceive me. And so Zion Rush, the Millard North quarterback, will have to make some magic happen. Every single time they've done this, they've gone to Caden Vermas, whether it was on a crossing route, easy throw for the junior quarterback, Zion Rush, or just handing it off. However, Bogats is the running back to the left hip of Rush. Vermas is in the slot. They'll motion Bogats now out to the left side. Looking downfield, up the seam, they go. The pass is dropped by Mason Gunter. The 6-foot senior had one-on-one coverage on Javion Fuller, had him beat on the hash mark, but was unable to haul in the pass from Rush, and it's going to bring up second down and 20. That's a play, Jay, set up throughout the duration of the game. They've kind of ran that motion with the running back and then also with Bogats, but then they've also ran it with Vermas out of the backfield where they throw that swing pass, that time trying to catch Lincoln Southeast creeping up a little bit and beat the Knights deep. Unable to haul it in was Mason Gwinther. So now handoff on second down and 20 to Colin Bogats, barreling his way forward, still on his feet, still running. And it's going to be a big gain up across the 50 to the 48-yard line of Lincoln Southeast. So now third down and 3 coming up for the Millard North offense.
Yeah, he got the initial contact was Cash and Butenbach about 10 yards after 10 yards, and then he was able to break that tackle, get 7 more yards. And so now if I'm Millard North, I'm just taking my time, Nick, right? Coming in and out of the huddle, see if I can get a cheap first down. When you're thinking of second and 20, you're probably most likely thinking you might have to punt. But nevertheless, they're in third and manageable right now.
Yeah, 3rd and 4 as they're going to mark him down at the 49-yard line. Shotgun set, Vermas with the direct snap. He runs out to the right side, and he's able to get enough yardage for the first down. Caden Vermas gets across that 46-yard line and down at the 45.
Yeah, it was a good job there by Caden Vermas, just getting enough. And you see the speed and explosiveness. And when he sticks his foot in the ground, 6 foot, 190-pound, do it all, wide receiver, defensive back, played a little bit of linebacker, running back. You've seen when it comes time for a play to be made, the ball is going to be in number 8's hands. And, Nick, I'm going to ask you this. If they didn't get that, do you think that you should Go for it?
Yes.
Yep, I did too.
1st and 10 from the 45. I'm glad we finally agree on something.
The old
James.
wing T.
They'll hand it off to Bogatz. Bogatz spun around after a gain of just 1 yard up to the 43-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Well, good job there by Lincoln Southeast defense rallying. And that right there, Nick, we used to call it knock them back. And the reason why you do that, you want to gang tackle the guy and push him back. You don't want to give him any type of confidence, let alone any yards after contact or break any tackles. And so now if I'm Lincoln Southeast, I mean, the defense is tired, right? Because they've been on the field essentially since I've been here, quite a few plays in the first half and then obviously in the second half. So now they got to really, really, find their second gear and their second win to, get off this field, get this offense the ball back.
Hand off to Caden Vermas up the middle. He goes across the 40, spun around and taken down at the 39-yard line of Lincoln Southeast. That brings up 3rd down and manageable. Another 3rd down and 4. The last time that they had 3rd and 4 just a few minutes ago, they lined up, and we've seen this a couple of times tonight, Caden Vermas in the shotgun. Zion Rush has been off to the side of the field, and Vermas has taken a direct snap and just ran it off to the right side on the narrow side of the football field. This time, Zion Rush will be the quarterback. He'll line up in the shotgun. Off to his left side is Vermas. Big opportunity for the Knights as you hear the Knights faithful. Rush takes it back, and now taken back in the backfield by Dano Mell is number 18, Will Kalcevich the second, and it's a loss of 3 yards, brings up 4th down and 7.
Millard North is lucky it was a loss of 3 because Dano Mell was one step away from pick 6, changing the game's momentum. Really good play there by Dano Mell because sometimes, Nick, you got to shoot your shot, right? They had a blocker for him, and then he had to come up and make a tackle on a bigger offensive player. Really good job there by Dano Mell, not only making the tackle, but getting the tackle for loss.
So Henry Rayberg back to punt for the Millard North Mustangs. It's a long punt, hopping into the end zone.
Big 75
for a touchback. Henry Rayberg.
Yeah, Henry Rayberg is doing everything aggressive.
There you have it.
Yeah.
7:41 to go in the 4th quarter. 10-3, the Knights trail, but they just got the football back. We'll come back in 30 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Attention Nebraska sports fans. Are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join us and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard, guard the good life.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So out of the pause in action, we have a 1st down throw by Trey Bolin. It was severely underthrown, intended for Charlie Thorne, and it falls incomplete. Charlie Thorne had his man beat in one-on-one coverage. I like the decision to take a shot.
Yeah.
Just not enough arm strength for Trey Bolin.
Listen, Charlie Thorne was the punter, is the punter. He ran the 49-yard fake punt for a touchdown. Listen, his mom, Maggie Thorne, was a phenomenal track athlete at Nebraska. You better do your homework because homeboy can run.
Hand off to Butenbach on 2nd down and 10. He's driven back, maybe got 2 yards, and Butenbach has to fight 3 Millard North defenders off of him on the pile.
Right. Once you make the decision to take that shot, we're passing all this. We're passing this series. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now you can't fall right into tendency and run the ball. You actually want to try to maybe run that ball on 3rd down because if you don't get it, the defense might be a little bit softer. But now you're behind the chains, 3rd and 8.
3rd down and 8 from their own 22-yard line. Empty shotgun set, trips out to the near side, the short side of the field. Bolin looks that way, still looking, finds a cutting Mason Meta, and it is very, inaccurate as it is thrown behind Meta. Meta had a lot of running room if that's thrown in stride, but Bolin unable to connect with Meta, and it's going to bring up Lincoln Southeast punt with 6:50 to go in the 4th quarter.
Right now, look, the Daubers are down on Lincoln Southeast in their offense. If I'm the offensive coaches, I got to get them over there and get them focused. And the first thing I got to talk to them about, listen, the defense will get us the ball back. We're going to have one more possession. We got to cash in on it.
Nice punt as Vermas will signal for the fair catch and haul it in at his own 41-yard line. 6:43 to go in the fourth quarter. Millard North back out here on offense. Jay, is there any way that you don't either hand it to Vermas or Bogats here?
Oh, no. No, because you want to run it. If I'm Millard North, I'm running it 3 times, see if I can get a first down or 2 and essentially sit on the ball, till the game is over. And also defensively, if I'm Millard North, I feel very good if we force Southeast to pass. And so if I'm Lincoln Southeast, I am focusing 1,000% on number 8 and number 2. And I got to get back to winning the line of scrimmage. So that's Van Cleve, that's Pierre Allen Jr., that's Xavier Campbell, right? That's Caden Ward right now. Now they're going to essentially, Nick, a 5-2 defense here. We have got to stop the run.
Here's the handoff for Moss. Gets hit with a wall by Pierre Allen Jr. Maybe gained a yard on that one. Another thing to point out, just a reminder, if you're just now joining us, Lincoln Southeast with 4.5 minutes in the third quarter burned their second time out of the half. So they only have one left, which means a couple of first downs here for Millard North. It's almost back-breaking for Lincoln Southeast.
And also that play right there was Pierre Allen made a really good play, but Big John Wood did a really good job of taking on the double team. And when you're perfectly right, Nick. When you talk about timeouts or possessions or situational football, early in the second half, he burned his second timeout and ran the same play he's probably going to run before the timeout.
2nd down and 9. They'll fake the handoff. Passing right side. It's hauled in and immediately taken down after a short gain of 2 is Mason Gunter. Gunter able to get 2 yards up to the 44-yard line. 3rd and 7 coming up.
We're fine. Don't panic. I mean, Southeast, we're fine with don't panic. 3rd and 7. Really good job there by Dane O'Mell coming out of his free safety position, coming up, making a good physical tackle there to keep Millard North 3rd and 7, which is behind the chains. So right now, we're thinking it's going to number 8 or number 22. And everybody else has got to survive on their own. And so right now we got to find where number 8 is. We got to have some sort of defense for him, but then also we got to keep an eye on number 22.
3rd and 7, big chance as they pass, looking to pass. Zion Rush, pass out near side. It's incomplete through the hands of number 87 for the Millard North Mustangs on the near side. Cam Nelson, the sophomore, has it slip through his palms. It would have been a first down. It was an accurately thrown ball by Rush, but instead Millard North going to boot this one away.
It was a little trick play there, in theory, was by Millard North to use Caden Vermas as a little bit of a decoy, ran him on a wheel route that turned into a seam route and had a deep out to number 87. A really good pass, though, Nick, by Rush, just through the hands of the Millard. Oh,
punt is almost blocked, and now it's going to be fielded by O'Mell as he's tracing his steps. Now back outside, stiff arms a guy into the turf, trying to reverse direction, cuts out of bounds, and is out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Before we continue, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Nick Sander, Jay Foreman back with you from Seacrest Field. First round of the Class A playoffs as Lincoln Southeast trying to find the end zone for the first time tonight. They're going to need to if they want to extend this game. They trail 10-3. Plenty of time, 5:03 to go as Lincoln Southeast takes the field on offense.
And, Nick, it's not even a question whether it's 4-down territory. With one timeout left, you can't play small ball.
They toss it to Butenbach. Butenbach is able to get across the 20-yard line. Good gain on first down of 6 up to the 27.
Little tempo, but you want to play fast, not in a hurry. Butenbach right now has got a little bit of a cramp. He's been churning out yards. And so right now, you know what I would probably do, Nick? I'm trying to get all my best athletes on the field. That's Dane O'Mell, Caden Ward. I put Pierre Allen Jr. in there, obviously at the running back or dot back. You got Amari Bradford. I'd put him in. Obviously, he plays receiver. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, Butenbach will come back in a play or two, but now we got to play with a little bit more tempo, right? We got to really get out on the edges. And then we need Trey Boland. You got to listen, this is time. This is your senior year. We need you to start making some plays, right? And so it's 2nd and 4. It's 4-down territory. Don't even look over here. If it's 4th down, we got to drive the length of the field. It's not something that we can't do. We have to do right now, to tie this game up.
4:43 on the game clock, and now it looks like Ryan Gatula is going to call a timeout.
So Nick, you know what this is? You know what this is?
Yes.
Do you gamble? You play blackjack?
Every now and then.
Okay, so now you
not
got
often.
Yeah, you got 2 10s, and we're putting it all in. We're gonna hit ace.
You split.
No. He said we're not splitting.
Okay, we're not splitting.
He's saying, listen, I'm feeling it right now. I just burned my last time out.
What is splitting?
When you take the 2 10s
Gotcha.
to do it. Yeah. But what he said, I don't need the split. I'm going to get an ace.
Okay.
By burning the timeout right now with 4 minutes and 44 seconds left. This is it.
This is it. Here we go. 2nd down and 4 out of the Southeast timeout here. 22-yard line is where they spot the ball. Referee standing over the football, tying his right shoe. But here, 4:42 to play in the 4th quarter. The winner of this one gets the winner of Millard South and Papillion La Vista South.
Nick, what do you think the philosophy or the reason was to burn that timeout? On 2nd and 4.
Beats me.
To maybe get Butenbach to come back in?
Potentially.
Oh, he's in.
Well, he's in. So there you have it. 2nd down and 4. They got to get to the 26-yard line. I formation, 2 wideouts far side, 1 to the near side. Van Cleve, the fullback. Now they'll pass, throwing it downfield, and it is nowhere close to Butenbach. Butenbach is pointing at the defender on that play. It was Aiden Hartshorn wearing some bright green gloves, and he's saying, why did you throw it over here? I was double teamed. There was no way I was grabbing that football.
Yeah, it was double teamed, and like I said, if you're going to call a timeout to get Cash Butenbach back in the game, you better give him the ball. I was thinking probably more of a conventional run there at 3rd and 4, because right now we want to just keep churning out 4th downs. We've all obviously don't have any timeouts, so even if we have to go up tempo and throw the ball, we're running a lot of outside routes and potentially one down the middle once we get towards the 50.
3rd down and 4. Miller North brings the pressure. Bolin steps up, and he gets bumped and falls by his left tackle. He ran in to his left tackle on the play, number 60. Tate Sandman. And
75, big man.
Yeah, number 75 as well. But there you have it.
His new nickname is the Undertaker.
Now here we have it on 4th down and 10. They're punting the ball away with no timeouts. Here you have it.
Hey, do you hear it?
I don't.
Do you hear it?
Not yet.
No, I hear it in my left ear. I hear it. It's starting to become louder and louder. I hear the singing.
Very short punt.
You want me to sing for you?
I do not. It's very short punt as it's bounced on the Lincoln Southeast side of the 50 and down at the 41-yard line. I have to deal enough with Chris Raff singing every day. And AD. I don't need Jay Foreman to add to that list.
I'm not singing. I'm just humming.
Okay.
Yeah. The singing will be coming here in a very short time in the 3 plays.
3 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock. 4th quarter. Ball is placed at the 40-yard line of Lincoln Southeast as Miller North takes over 1st and 10 after Lincoln Southeast elected to punt the ball away. All right, so same thing here. You'd expect a lot of Caden Vermas. You'd expect a lot of Colin Bogatz. They're both in, as well as Xavier Lopez. So
is it 1 first down, you think, Nick?
Essentially. 1 first down here because there's no way Lincoln Southeast can stop the clock. They turn, hand it off, big fella Bogatz. Up the field and down the middle as he gets 8 yards, and the wind is starting to be taken out of the sails for Lincoln Southeast. 2nd down and 2. Oh, now they give him the 2nd down and 1 up to the 31-yard line. 3.5 to go. The huddle not been broken yet by Zion Rush.
This is not going to be snapped. Why would you snap the ball with any more than 5 seconds left?
Got to get a stop here if you are Lincoln Southeast. Zion Rush staring at that play clock monitor just beyond the north end zone. They motion Lopez and once again, and Bogatz gets enough for the 1st down. That was the same play. They sent Lopez almost in motion all the way around, then he cut back out to the right side, and it's going to be a 1st down. 3:02 and counting coming up for Miller North. 1st and 10 from now the Lincoln Southeast 28-yard line. It's almost also 4-down territory strictly because that way you can burn another 40 seconds
and you
off.
feel comfortable with what you've seen defensively going against Southeast passing attack. And so right now it's just, Nick, this is a death by 1,000 paper cuts.
1st and 10. Close, not necessarily a split T formation, but now they'll hand it off to Xavier Lopez. He cuts up the field, has a lot of running room. Penalty flag is thrown back at the 27-yard line.
Does that stop the clock too?
It will for the time being until they spot the ball officially. It's a holding on Miller North, so they'll move it back 10 yards, which certainly benefits the Knights here. So the clock is stopped for the time being until the referee gets over the ball and motions his arm in a circle to start the play clock once again, or the game clock once again, rather. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot.
Yeah, which really doesn't matter right now. It's just a matter of time. And you remember, you ever seen Man on Fire with Denzel Washington?
I have not.
He looks at this guy and he starts his stopwatch. He says, "I wish you had more time." Millard North is looking at Southeast and said, "I do not wish you had more time."
Here's something also, Jay. You don't get that time back on the clock. It's still first down once again.
The clock.
So essentially, the clock now is running.
Do you hear it? Do you hear it in your right ear?
It's getting close. Yeah, it's faint, but it's like one of those.
Faint?
It's like one of those ear tests. But it's 1st and 20. I mean, here's the thing: if Lincoln Southeast was able to stop Lopez for a shorter gain on that play, maybe you decline the penalty just to keep it at 2nd down. Jet sweep. Here is Vermas. Vermas stays in bounds. Smart play as he was trending towards that far sideline. He just falls down at the numbers, and it's a loss of 1 officially, but we are inside 2 minutes. And even if they are able to get a stop here in the next 3 plays, you're looking at less than 20 seconds on the game clock for Lincoln Southeast. Once again, you go back to why call both of those timeouts early in the 3rd quarter, and then why call it in the 4th quarter if you're Lincoln Southeast. Man, you'd want some of these back. 2nd down and 21, 1:27 left in the game. Here they hand it off. Vermas cuts down inside. It's now once again 3rd down and a mile. However, just judging by the clock, Lincoln Southeast not going to be able to do anything. This will take it inside because they will be able to snap this right at about 40 seconds on the game clock. And that 4th down snap will happen with less than 10 seconds on the game clock. Because if the head coach for Millard North, and that's Alan Burrell Jr., if he's smart here, you let this trickle all the way down to 1 second, call your 2nd time out of the half, and Millard North is starting to feel it, and the lady is starting to sing loud. So there is your Millard North timeout with 1 second on the play clock. Millard North's going to be able to kneel this one down on 3rd down. And with that being said, let's take a timeout. We'll pause for 30 seconds right after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Sander, Jay Foreman back with you in the final moments of Lincoln Southeast and Millard North. Millard North on the doorstep of advancing to the 2nd round of the Class A playoffs, coming on the road and defeating the higher seed Lincoln Southeast. As they'll take the snap, hand it off. Here's Vermas. Vermas up the middle, hits a brick wall, and that will do it. Lincoln Southeast, for the 7th straight year, makes the playoffs, but now for the 4th straight year, fails to make it out of the 1st round. Lincoln Southeast falls 10-3 to the Millard North Mustangs. The 10 seed comes on the road and knocks off the 7 seed by a score of 10-3. It wasn't all that high scoring, obviously, Jay Foreman, but here you have it. A healthy dose of Caden Vermas, a nice, just disciplined game by the quarterback, Zion Rush, and one mistake with a couple of unfortunately called timeouts. Lincoln Southeast, their season concludes. Millard North goes on the road to play the winner of Millard South and Papio South.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. You know, before I arrived, you talked about the fake field goal, which would have been great if you make it, but then also it's points that are off the board. It's the holding call on a touchdown that gets called back, and then you have a bad snap, and then you don't punt it. Now then it didn't really hurt you, but then you had to burn a timeout. You burned a timeout when you were going for it on fourth down originally in the previous drive, to run the same play that you were going to run before the timeout, just because it's 4th and 4 and you made a decision, you don't need to think about it anymore after you make the decision. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then that's a timeout that you needed. Then you are backed up. You decide to call a timeout to get the ball to Cash Butenbach, and it was a throw that really wasn't even supposed to be going, wasn't there. It never was open, and then you punt the ball. The game was over once you punted the ball.
Well, there you have it, folks. That'll do it for Lincoln Southeast season. They conclude with
I just wanted to know if you heard the lady. When
did.
I said the lady was singing, she was singing loud.
With a final record of 7-3 on the season, Lincoln Southeast falls once again. Like I mentioned, Millard North.
Will you sing it with me?
I will not. So Millard North comes on the road, defeats the 7-seed Lincoln Southeast. That's your first host site and host team to fall in the Class A playoffs. Millard South has opened up a 41-14 lead over Papillion La Vista South. So you can pretty much pencil the Patriots and the Mustangs for a matchup next Friday. How about this in Class B? We mentioned the Pius Seward score earlier. Pius the 10th leads 21-14.
How excited are you?
No, hold on. Late in the fourth quarter, Pius also has the ball in Seward's territory. Seward 9-0 on the season, undefeated. That's a 15 seed going up against a 2 seed.
Those
and
sneaky
on the road.
thunderbolts,
That's
the
what I'm
big
telling
physical
you, Jay.
thunderbolts.
Don't sleep on them.
Don't sleep on them. That's why I was with you. I got one eye open.
Yeah, there you go.
Watch out
I
for
taught you well. So there you have it, folks. That'll do it for us here from Seacrest Field. Once again, your final score. The Millard North Mustangs set up a date with the Millard South Patriots next Friday after knocking off the Knights 10-3. For Jay Foreman and Ben Droz back in our 93.7 The Ticket Studios, Nick Sainert saying so long, as we'll come back next Friday. I'm turning off your mic. Next Friday with more state playoff action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Sea-Doo dealership. Score up to $300 off or a free 2-year warranty on 2024 Sea-Doo Sparks and $500 off or a free 2-year warranty on all other brand new 2024 Sea-Doos. Rule the streets on an Indian motor.